On the road again. Idaho is on the road again. Is he coming back? We don't know when, but Idaho is on the road again. That's right, troopers and grinders. My podcast partner to my left, the Idaho Skatesman, is once again attending One Championship's annual pit stop in Denver, Colorado. And Hank the Tank is once again aware of that fact. But it isn't all doom and gloom for the Tank, troopers and grinders. I've got a lot of MMA to watch at home in the meantime, including 168 live and in living color, along with Octagon with a K, a solid UFC fight night, and whatever Bellator has thrown together this time. So, Skatesman, with all that being said, how are you feeling about tomorrow and this weekend for MMA as a whole?
It's a good weekend. It's a fantastic weekend for MMA, for Muay Thai.
Great.
I think there might even be some boxing. But yeah, overall, I think the highlight of the weekend is definitely going to be one, unless you're a total casual, and obviously it's the UFC. But Cage Warriors, Octagon, Bellator, everybody after taking a week off, everybody's coming in strong. So
yeah, lots of good stuff for sure. And another thing that I can always look forward to every single weekend is Hank's locks for the weekend. Starting with the French promotion Aries. Oh, hold on.
Freaking French people.
Yeah, goddamn French. Wait a minute, it's not allowing me to share it. Crap. Uh-oh. Wait a minute. Stop sharing.
Scramble.
Crap. Uh-oh.
No Black Panda, though. Oh, Black Panther? I don't think he was supposed to be on this card, bro.
It's not sharing.
Oh, Aries already happened? Oh, okay.
Yeah, it did. But basically, my lock for Aries was Magomed Giri Umarkadziev defeated Pedro Carvalho by round 1 KO. I had him by round 1 KO because that is how he can won his last 3 or 4 fights. So, and the other guy was a scrub. Classic treatment of bringing the Brazilian. And I was surprised because it was ACA and not Aries that it took place. But apparently this is going on for all Dagestanis. So there it is. They'll put him against any fucking can. And it didn't work out the same way it did in ACA. My first lock I ever had that went totally wrong. Now I'm just, basically tempting fate every single time I have a Russian against Brazilian with a losing record in a regional promotion. But it worked out this time once again. So I'm starting to think it was just a fluke. And Isha paid somebody. Probably paid the matchmakers at ACA for my lock to lose. But it is what it is, if you will.
So that's not the Pedro Carvalho of Bellator fame.
No, it's a completely different Pedro Carvalho.
Okay.
Yes. Jesus Christ.
So Sean says he's going live for One Friday Fights. Hell yeah, dude. Sounds
nice.
Good. Hopefully your internet connection is all right for that.
That was a funny fight. Okay, what happened, Leprechaun? Yeah. Now I remember what happened. So basically, it was Magomed Giri. He was throwing spinning kicks to the body. One of them missed. The next one landed. Then they just circled around fucking. Oh God, what? I keep forgetting their names, but it's Ken Frank Shamrock. It was Ken Shamrock.
Ken Shamrock and Dan Severn.
Dan Severn. They were just circling around over and over again, ring around the rosy. And then he just hit him with a flush head kick, just spun 3 times, and batting was about 70.75, but it worked out. And then down he went. So that was a very funny one. And then he hit him with a knee, and it was over. Literally no amount of success from the Brazilian.
Sounds like Aries FC. What is up, Rafuko? Good to see you, my friend.
Yeah. And then the rest of the card wasn't all that great either. So I'm not going to try everybody with grisly details, but Aries FC was Aries FC. But we got a few more locks from Hank. Actually, quite a few locks. Honestly, half of this stream could be Hank's locks for this. But actually, before we get to Hank's next lock, why don't we run down 168 since Hank the Tank's lock is on that card?
I think we should save that for the end, but second to last, go through the locks on the regional shows. And then...
All right, I'll do Octagon instead. So we got Octagon out of Germany, and I know Ivan Buchinger, if the Troopers and Grinders recall.
I've heard of this man before.
He was on. He was my last lock for Octagon, the last show. I had him by round 2 KO, and I believe he had it perfectly. by round 2 KO. So that was pretty cool. And so now he's earned himself a main event spot against a German. So wow, the German fans are going to eat that up. And then a bunch of different people. But Skatesman, do you recognize this man right in the middle? That's right. It is the legendary Wahed Nazhand, the pride of Afghanistan.
Oh yeah, that guy. Yeah, I was in the rush.
He just so happens to be.
I was in the City Life Project when he fought last, and
he was.
They raided the chat. I think there was like 600 people raiding the chat asking about this guy. And tell you the truth, man, like he really wasn't all that good. He had a really tough fight with his opponent. But he did hurt him early. It shows that he's got some athleticism and like he can punch. But I think just the rest of the MMA skills need to come together. Are you there? I think Hank the Tank's lagging out, y'all. I'm glad Baloney popped for roids. Who's Baloney?
That's true. But the thing is, man, he's got one thing behind him that is going to make him unstoppable in this one. He's got aura.
What's that?
Oh, fuck. Here we go again. My internet.
My man's got to get some internet upgrade. All right, Sean, you got to tell me who's
Am I here?
Baloney. Oh, and what is up, AJ?
Hello?
He says Hank got that Obama Wi-Fi. Well, you know what? Sometimes we have Obama Wi-Fi in this world, but it's good to see AJ, my good friend. Wish you could have come out to Denver, man. Hopefully I'll see you in Atlanta. Oh, Blagoy Ivanov? He's on steroids? No shit. Small world. We can't hear you.
Hello?
Hank. Oh, there you are.
Am I here? Fuck.
You're barely here. You're hanging on by a thread, my friend.
Okay, I'm entering another way. I'm entering another way.
Well, yeah, I mean, regardless of what you think about Aries or Cage Warriors or Octagon, generally the fights are interesting. So at least there's that. And there he is.
There we go. This is going to be much better, right? I think this is better. Oh God.
Are you gonna be able to show any of the cards though?
Yeah, that's not great, is it?
No, I mean you can still present from StreamYard.
Mm-hmm.
If you're still in here.
Yeah, but all right. Give me 1 second. But yeah, with Octagon, that's the one thing that I'm looking forward to, just because of the mythos of that one City Life project.
Yeah.
The Afghans.
Octagon, they always put on a half decent show. So it is.
And Aries varies. But hold on. God damn it, man.
I've never watched Aries before.
I've watched it once. Isha said that the production value was pretty good, but the fights not so much.
Is it as good as the UFC Noche card? I mean, come on, that's going to be the most amazing thing in the world.
I know, it's so great. It's not like the floor seats of that show literally only force the people that are there to just stand. There's no chairs on the bottom.
Oh, really? That sucks.
Yeah. And then the ticket prices are at a minimum of almost $1,000, and the most is $10,000. Isn't that lovely?
What is up, Sniff, my good friend? Production is good.
Hey,
there was a guy who ate chicken bones fighting. What is his name? Chicken Bones? He ate a man named Chicken Bones. That does not sound legal.
Wait.
But
yeah,
hey, you know what? It's France.
There was a guy named Bone on the Aries card, and he probably got eaten up by a chicken bone. It makes all the sense.
Chicken bone now it's on.
Yes. Okay. There we go.
So just mute yourself on that one.
That is horrific, man. All right, give me 1 second. I've almost got it pulled up. I'm almost there.
We're halfway. Chicken bones. So is that part of his gimmick? He eats chicken bones as he's walking out. That's pretty cool.
Other than Nazhand, do you have any memories of Octagon? Have you ever watched that live?
Well, I had a DAZN subscription shortly, and I did watch like an RWS card and an Octagon card in the same day. Card was fine. Don't really have any other thoughts on it other than that, though.
All right, hold on. I got my lock for Cage Warriors up.
What is up, Gaz Ninja? Good to see you, and thank you, Paradox, for just bringing in the people. We're getting the next card pulled up here shortly. Oh, Sean says he's never watched Octagon. Well, you're a casual. So, what is up, Lane? And whoa, Black Betty, Bam Lambo. Oh yeah.
Hey, whoa, Black Betty, Bam Lamb.
Crystal Miller. I think Crystal's been in here before. Good to see you. And we're just hanging out, man. I'm here in Denver, just getting ready for one tomorrow, man. Yes, right, Western Mass, a good friend. He says he enjoys us having more than 2 viewers. Well, we appreciate that, man.
Yes, we truly do. Usually it's not bad, around 9 or 10.
Yeah, we're having some
it's always the 8 o'clock
right
time
now,
for the work. But I got the tab up. Do you see it on your phone?
I do.
All right, there we go. All right, first things first. And
just gonna run down some cards, Crystal.
Showing.
You know, nothing special.
What the hell is going on?
I'm not a casual, just too many corporations to know about. Well, promotions, but yeah. Chris Gray, good to see you. And yes, I agree with that, Gaz Ninja, whatever that means. Oh, here we go.
There we go. You got Sean Clancy Jr. If people,
and this is the Octagon card, right?
Yes. No, it's for Cage Warriors.
Okay.
It looks like you got a Cage Warriors belt or something close to a promotion that's from the UK. Clancy Jr., I have picked him as a lock before. Just looking at Topology, he was at 100%. 100% of people picked him. And that is rare. Because he has gotten nothing but submissions in his fights. I have picked him before. I think there was a moment, there was like a stacked Cage Warriors card where there were like 20 fights, and it has 20 fights here too. And I just thought it was a fucking spectacular fun. So I picked every single fight for that one. And one of them was Sean Clancy Jr., and I had him by round 1 sub, and he got it done exactly how I thought it would. So that was pretty fucking cool. And now I'm going to do it again against Rafael Aronov. He has a 6-5 record, and this guy beat a 6-3 guy before. So he's beaten better opponents faster. So I just feel like this is an absolute lock. I'd be stupid if I didn't pick that. But at the same time, there is some good stuff on the card. I think we should take a look at the main event at the very least. Got George Hardwick taking on Christian Iorga. This is Hardwick's first fight since he had that scrap with, I believe his name was Al-Sawadi. Well, what was that guy's name? Muhammad Al-Sawadi or something or other.
No, it's ringing a bell.
He took that really. Yeah, but he basically got taken down a few times, and a lot of UK-based MMA YouTube channels were absolutely devastated by it. And I think I agree with their takes that guys who are Cage Warriors champions with multiple defenses, I think you could just give them a debut fight in the UFC. Those guys don't need to be on the Contender Series to prove themselves, because they're proving themselves at the highest level already where they are.
Well, and then they'll like give guys that aren't super good in Cage Warriors that spot, but then they'll make the Cage Warriors champs, go through Contender Series or some weird shit. So yeah, I totally agree with that. Yeah. But the whole idea of Contender Series is dumb anyway, because like even the losers just end up on a random card anyway.
Right.
So
yeah. Christian Iorga. Let me take a look at Christian Iorga.
Western Mass says, I come here to watch Skatesman get irritated by Hank. Well, that's part of the show, my friend.
Yeah, that's the whole point, man. And honestly, it's working like a charm. I am annoying him more than usual. Make Bloodsport, who from the M&Ms would be in it. I would think GSP would be Frank Dux, and Roy Nelson would be his biker buddy who got beat by Bolo Young's character.
I mean, that's kind of lazy, though, right? Just like putting GSP in that spot because he's French, or like Jean-Claude Van Damme, who I don't even think is actually French, but I think he's born in like the Netherlands. But why don't we do a cool remake of Bloodsport where we just have like a completely new storyline? I don't know.
I think, the situation's getting dire in terms of prospects we're putting up against Hardwick. This guy hasn't even had a fight in Cage Warriors yet. And they're just throwing him in there. so
Oh,
that he can
wow.
be his biggest challenge. Yeah, they are worse for wears. They are in a drought right now, just like every single regional promotion is this time of year.
Yeah, it's Contender Series season, man.
Yeah,
This is
the
what
killer
happens
of all
during
regional MMA.
Yep.
I mean, I think like an example of it. I mean, he's beaten an 8-1 guy. Okay, that's impressive by armbar. That round 3, that's not great. And then, yeah, other guys. I've seen guys who are undefeated who George Hardwick is absolutely decimated. So anybody who's got a fucking loss before Cage Warriors, he's probably gonna whoop their ass. Because in my opinion, I see him as sort of the equivalent of Jack Della Maddalena, where he
it
has
sounds like
really
you have
good
a
technical work.
hard on for George Hardwick.
Well, I'm a fan, Skatesman. I'm a real fan of this guy. I'm a supporter.
What is up, Big Red? And Chris Gray asked the question. He says, "Have you ever had butter on a Pop-Tart though?" Nah.
I think I tried it once. I slathered a little bit of butter on the top of the Pop-Tart and
Ooh.
then for around 10 to 20 seconds. Wasn't
Jazz
that bad.
Ninja coming in with a biggie line. Honey's play me close like butter plays
Butter
toast.
plays
From the
toast.
Mississippi down to the East Coast. Nice.
And if you don't know, now you know.
They're calling Frank Dutz a fraud. All right.
That's what keeps my business.
Oh,
Octagon?
you'd like this.
John Jones is Frank Duck Dynasty for sure.
Duck Dynasty?
Yeah, he loves that show. It's his favorite reality TV show.
All right, well, we got old Bellator on Saturday, right? Or
yeah,
yes.
the
Okay.
promotion that shall not be named. And also we got, here's my, let's go with my pick that I got, first of all. My singular pick that always works. I actually looked at my lock rate for the last couple of weeks, and I'm on like a 9 or 10 fight lock streak, so I'm doing pretty well. Yeah. But the first lock I got is a man by the name of, his last name's Kikuri, but he was, he has had his first fight in Bellator, but he was on another like Pancrase promotion, I think, and he's like the #1 welterweight in Asia. So pretty solid.
Well, there's not a lot of welterweights in Asia, so.
No, yeah.
Chris Gray says Tupac over Biggie. Well, the thing is Tupac is a better like storyteller. Tupac can make a better song, but Biggie actually, when we talk about verbal like skill and rhyming ability, I would put Biggie over Tupac. But the thing about Tupac is there was a story that Snoop told where it took him like a whole day to write one song with Dre, like all night long. And then he watched Tupac work in the studio, and this dude would churn out like 15 songs in one day, you know? So he was just a hard worker. So yeah.
I like Tupac Shakur the same reason why I like Kendrick Lamar. They both got really good raps, but in terms of like just general storytelling and having themes to their work and being sort of poets into like artistry, I tend to like that sort of rapper. So for that reason, I prefer Tupac over Biggie. But I agree with you that in terms of actually putting rhyme schemes together and just making it effortless, not even close.
Black Betty says Tupac raps like a preacher. Feel me? They try to kill me. And
I'm not a
Dylan
preacher, but don't push me. Come with me. Hail Mary.
Oh my gosh, she's this fucking Tupac. I'm still alive.
Fresh out of jail, California dreaming. I hear the coochie screaming. Anyway, we got. I got keys, shipping them overseas, looking over my many enemies.
That was actually what is his fucking name? What the fuck was that fucker's name? Oh my god. Anyway, whatever. I'm blanking. Let's talk some more UFC.
So anyway, Masayuki.
Casual slip there.
He is #1 welterweight, and he just debuted in Bellator. Got a round 2 head kick KO. I'm pretty sure. So he got a pretty exciting finish going into this one. Whereas Herman Tirado, he's coming off a win as well, but there are other guys who are future champions in Bellator or solidly like. Outside the top 10, gonna fucking give prospects nightmares every time. And he didn't pass the barometer. He didn't pass the test. So
the barometer. Yes.
Yeah, they kept the gates. And
that's a weather instrument, by the way.
Yeah, I think Curie's just basically gonna beat his ass and knock.
Well, yeah. Plus, the guy's name is Herman.
Yes, yeah, that's true. He's a Herman Munster, that's for sure.
Oh, and Kiwi's in the chat. I just wanted to say what's up, Kiwi. Good to see you, my friend from Down Under. What you said, I'm mad. No, I was just mad. I didn't want to get into this whole concept of Tupac being a fan. We'd be here all night debating that. So, yes, Dylan, I agree with you. Whatever you say, I agree.
Move to my next
Oh,
block
well,
for whatever the hell this is.
so hold on. Let's check out. Let's talk Usman though, because he's obviously hasn't fought in a while. He had a didn't he pop for steroids recently?
Yes, he did, for an illegal substance right after his fight with Brett Primus. So it's a miracle he's even still champion right now. But hey, it's Bellator, so they have no standards.
Now, what do you think about his opponent? I mean, obviously, I think it's pretty obvious we're gonna pick Usman, right?
Right.
Because he is fantastic. But
did Alexander Shabib before? I'm pretty sure that I'm pretty sure they had a fight before, and Usman won
that
that
would be
fight.
such lazy booking by Bellator if that's true.
Yeah, there it is. Oh, wait, hold on. Let me scroll up because it'll say if it's number 2 or not. Oh no, It's not. Okay, never mind. We're good. It's a brand new matchup.
Perfect.
Yeah, look at this. Here's the no contest he had with Brett Primus. There it is.
See, Dylan says there's not even a topic to debate. It's a fact. Dylan, you don't know me very well. I can debate anything. So that's part of the reason why I started this podcast.
He debated Northwest over whether or not it was legitimate that somebody was related to somebody at the show and gave it to him because he's in an local area, and the judges are local, so therefore he wins the fight. He argued.
And that debate went on for like 2 hours.
4 hours.
Yeah.
Wasn't that wonderful? Your little chit chat got so toxic, and even I ended up in there. I called the Northwest Thomas, so that was nice. Anyway, yeah, both these guys dismantled Patricky Big Bull to beat Musayev. Not the Musayev, I think it is. He's a member of the family, though. He knocked out Brent Primus. Oh, that's actually interesting. Both these guys have opponents that they beat the same ones, but Shilly was able to knock out Brent Primus, whereas Nurmagomedov was only able to grind out a decision. The question is his grappling domination going to make the difference, or should he have?
You're cutting out really bad right now. Oh, and he's gone. Well, the screen's still up. But what I will say is I think Usman is like, he's the guy who's going to take his time with his opponents. Obviously, they have a common opponent in Brett Primus. Again, I'm having a hard time like actually remembering who the hell Shabili is. Oh, and he's back. What is
Hello?
up, my friend?
I'm good. At what point did I cut off?
You were kind of sound like, everyone's commenting on it. AI Hank, why does your voice sound like aliens? What is up, Michael Jordan? I don't think he's been in here yet. Long time. Nice. I think he follows both Isha and Jay. Good to see you.
Yeah. Might be a member of the What It Do Paradox crew.
But we were talking about Brent Primus being their common opponent, and
yes. So the question is whether or not this is going to be grinded out to a decision or it's going to result in a finish. Because if it's a decision, then Nurmagomedov's probably going to win it, and if it's a finish, it's probably going to be Shabib. But honestly, he's in Nurmagomedov, and he's probably on another illegal substance, so he'll probably get the dub. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, and that aside, like, obviously, Usman's a more patient guy. He's going to take his time, which I love. The fans don't love it. Shabili, I'm having a hard time remembering who exactly the hell he is. But, I mean, look, he's got the hat, so, he's doing some work. Probably the rightful guy to fight. But I think that Usman wins this handily by decision, and I don't really see him getting finished because just the style. There's no glaring weakness that he has against really any opponent. Unless we're talking like an absolute power puncher. So,
and then a few other notable fights that we have on Bellator is we got Lorenz Larkin, who got a big knee, I believe, and that was like the big finish in his last fight. And that was a highlight reel knockout. And then there's this man named Levon Chokheli. I believe he just had his like second or third fight in Bellator, and he got a wicked finish as well in his last fight.
I
so.
think he's been in Bellator for a hot minute, but he's definitely the younger guy. Probably should be picking him, but the thing about Lorenz Larkin is he's kind of like a Neil Magny type, right? Like really, really, underhyped, kills the prospects, keeps winning, still in the game. So I love every time Lorenz Larkin fights because unlike Neil Magny, the dude gets good finishes,
Right.
Magny will kind of just pull one out of his ass every once in a while.
Yeah. I think Sean Moody actually just said that this is the last fight on Lorenzo's contract, which is interesting. Will he be extra motivated or not motivated at all? It depends on what
the thing
he
is
wants.
He's a vet, dude. I don't think it really matters to him.
Right. You just come in there to make your prize money and win.
Yep.
Well, I'm going to go with Larkin just because I'm going to go behind the hype.
I mean, what
train.
a shitty Bellator card, though, that Lorenz Larkin is in the co-main event.
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty bad. And then there's Douglas Lima, who's another vet in Bellator, taking on a Canadian with a 14-5 record. Wait, BFC record, Bellator, and he's 3-2 in Bellator. Yuck.
Okay. So,
there you go. Isha's got a lot of hope for that guy. But one thing I do want to mention, there's a Kikuri in there. Between him, there's the battle of the two wrestling headpieces. We got Jordan Newman and then Bryce Meredith, who both got their wrestling gear. And one of them is getting a layup in John McAloy. And then the other is getting an undefeated 9-0 Imam Shafi Aliyev, who's 6-0, and who's 9-0, and this guy's 6-0. So that'll be sort of an interesting contest.
I really don't have anything else to say on this Bellator card, but I will say that, I think that Bellator does a good job matching guys up. So even though the card has not a lot of name value, there's definitely guys that have been in the promotion, and I'm actually kind of excited to watch this card. Shockingly,
nice. Well, I think there's a lot of good cards on this thing, and especially there are some where it's sort of a mid card, but the main event is good.
Yes.
And others where the main event's all right, but the card's great. So it's a nice little combination of different things.
I'm gonna go through some comments real quick.
Yeah.
Wish we could see Aspinall versus Ngannou. How about Jones versus Ngannou?
Yeah. Well, that's a few years too late, and then also Uncle Fester just couldn't cough up. So,
Dylan says, "I'm the real money debate. You want that real shit? It's right here. All right, bet. We'll have to make it happen." Lorenz Larkin has power. Yeah, exactly. That's why he's a better Neil Magny. There's a lot of fight card this week, but I can't wait for 168. I'm a big fan of Muay Thai. I think Michael Jordan actually lives in Thailand. Correct me if I'm wrong. Nice. Magny, the goated stepping stone. Black Betty says, "Remember when Larkin beat Magny around the octagon? Think he stole something?" Wow. I honestly don't. I don't remember that fight.
So he destroyed Magny and took his soul, huh? Interesting.
Good. Sounds like old red. Sounds like old heads, like old red. Remember? Yeah, I've only been watching MMA since 2019. So, Michael Jordan's from Australia. Well, close enough, right?
Yeah.
Jones versus Wilder? No, Badr Hari versus Deontay Wilder. That's the real fight.
I mean, honestly, Jones versus anyone who's not Stipe Miocic is just a dream fight that doesn't have a prayer of being made.
All right, so why don't we get into 168 and then we'll go through the UFC card because we'll have a lot more to say about that.
All right, sounds good. Bada bing, bada boom.
This is a funny comment from Blackberry. He says, or he or she says, Jeff Neal cosplayed as Morpheus and stared at Ian Gary for 15 minutes on his last outing.
Yeah, I love the part where he kneeled all over the place for 15 minutes. That was a really good.
Looks like they actually have. Okay, cool. They actually got the whole card up. Sick.
I also made some picks for this card in honor of Idaho Skatesman as he's here.
Yeah, let's run through the whole card because I am actually going to this event. I'll be there tomorrow, live in the arena. Let's go! I'm so stoked for that. And by the way, I'll actually be sitting cage side. So
nice. And well, you got to do a big shout out to the City Life Project at some point. Just make a reference that only we would know. And then do fucking subscribe to Skate Tag!
I'm more of a Rush Hour guy, but
oh fuck. Well, there you have it.
But yeah,
how about Rush City? Rush
City, let's go. I'll shout them out in the arena. Sorry, I'm just getting some charging hooked up here. But yeah, my screen is really small, so if you could just read off the fights for me, I'll tell you what I think.
Let me zoom in on this shit.
Okay, perfect.
There we go. We got Sean Climaco against Johan Estupinan. Do you know these two?
I've seen both of them fight for sure. What is this? Is this an MMA fight?
It looks like it's a Muay Thai bout.
Perfect. I love Muay Thai. I'm so glad there's a lot of Muay Thai on this card. There wasn't as much last time. There was a lot of MMA. No, I don't really know these guys, but you know what? They're gonna beat the hell out of each other. So let's go. Curtain jerker.
Well, there you go.
There's my buddy Dane. He is actually
134.
He's actually probably like 1,000 feet away from me, across the street in another hotel.
Nice.
So shout out to Dane. We'll be there. We'll be screaming stuff.
Then we hey, Michael Jordan. MJ.
B says Bellator is only on HBO Max. Is that true?
Yes, that's right. They had like an HBO deal like a few months ago because Bellator was dying and they needed to be swallowed up by a streaming service in order to stay afloat. So
Well, yeah,
that just happened to be.
I think that Showtime got absorbed by HBO Max, so that actually makes sense.
Yes, and boxing got absorbed as well, right?
I don't know.
It was Showtime Boxing.
No, Showtime Boxing's totally dead in the water.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Doesn't exist anymore.
All right. So then we got Johan Ghazali taking on Josu Cruz. So Battle of the Joes. You know either of these characters?
Johan Ghazali lost his last fight. It was a really tight fight, as in very close.
Tight.
And if you see there, I think he's only like 19. But he looks good. Just like he fights good. He's scrappy, which is a little worrying, right? You would want to see a kid this young take it a little easier, but I think that the bigger problem is one's booking of these really young kids. You see on like the Friday morning cards, they got like 17-year-olds getting knocked out cold, So, I think they're probably trying to give him a softer layup here in Ghazali. So, give me Ghazali. I don't know if he'll get a knockout, but if this guy is truly a can, then he should get a fantastic knockout. But yeah, give me him by decision just to be safe.
Nice. And then we got the hopefully not cursed member of the cursed Lee family, old Adrian, taking on Nico Cornejo. I personally got Adrian Lee by round 2 sub, because he's young, he's fresh-faced. I feel like for the Lee family, they're especially going to be wearing, safety gloves with this one. No Diddy. And Adrian, he did pretty well in his last fight. He got his opponent down to the crowd fairly easily. And I feel like against Nico Cornejo, who I believe he's got a 0-0 record going into one.
Okay.
And
perfect.
he's just sort of mid. So I feel like he's going to get subbed at some point. He's a rookie.
Yeah, and he has a horrible neck tattoo.
He's got that Cody Garbrandt tattoo.
So the thing about Adrian is, how old is Adrian, by the way? I think he's 18, right?
Yeah.
And it doesn't show it on there, but it's irrelevant. He's a teenager, regardless. Oh, here we go.
Jesus Christ almighty. He is not available. He's not available.
I think he's 18. His last fight, he showed me some good stuff, particularly in the grappling. His striking definitely needs some work. Send him over to Tenshin Nasukawa's gym, have him kickbox. But realistically, though, he's going to have Christian Lee and Angela, helping him along with his career. He's definitely going to win this fight. They definitely want him to win this fight, as you said. They want to give him that showcase, especially in America. The problem is you never know what's really going to happen moving forward with Adrian's career. You see how everybody else's career. And by the way, where the fuck is Christian Lee, right? Like, the man won 2 titles in one, and then now he's just, nowhere to be found.
Yeah.
So, Adrian wins that,
still
though.
grieving. Yeah. Then we got another MMA bout. Jesus Christ. I think it's 3 or 4 MMA bouts in a row. No, thank God. It's only 3. It's not 4. We got Elise Anderson against Victoria Souza. I think this is the toughest fight to predict in terms of MMA on this card, just because Souza can be extremely unreliable. I believe she lost to Grand Jean by unanimous decision. I was watching it live. I thought it was an easy lock, and then she just got her ass kicked. But then in the next fight, she looked sloppy, but then she got her opponent down and subbed her in round 1 in like less than 3 minutes. So she's either going to completely destroy an undefeated female prospect or lose to a scrub. So honestly, just flip a fucking coin for this one.
I think
I just
Elise
got Souza
Anderson has some
because she
better
has
wins,
beaten
though.
undefeated. Let me
Could be
take a look
wrong.
at the fight actually.
Yeah, I
Let's
want to
take a
see
look.
who Elise has
The
beaten.
book.
Okay, up and down.
Hold on. Stamp Fairtech. She lost to Stamp Fairtech, well, which is not a bad loss to have. That was the liver kick TK that she got.
And was that in Muay
Which
Thai or
won
was
by
that in
triangle choke,
MMA?
only 4-2.
When she fought Stamp.
I think, God, what was that? I think that was an MMA title.
Yeah, it was a title fight. So, you know what? Give me Elise. Give me Elise.
Yeah, I understand that for sure. I don't know. I just feel like it's Souza. It's just, I literally just rolled the fucking dice there.
Yeah.
But then we got Hiroyuki Tetsuka taking on Issei Fitifeku. What is this guy had one fight? It would make sense if he had
I don't know
one
either
fight.
of these bums.
Yeah,
Next fight.
1-1 in one. I think it's going to be Tetsuka just because he's had a few more fights in one, and they've given. He's an exciting guy in that he's just completely all over the fucking place, and often it works and sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, this guy isn't even in one, or if he is, he's fucking mid. So there you have it. Then we got a familiar face, good old John Lineker against Asa Tenpao. Run this one down,
dude.
for me,
So this is a really weird fight. Asa Tenpao, that dude, he is a beast in Muay Thai. Fantastic kickboxer. I believe he's fought for Lion Fight. Not a fantastic kickboxer as or Muay Thai guy as in the record and like accomplishments, but does this guy come to scrap? Fuck yes. Does he throw spinning back elbows and flying knees and spinning kicks? Fuck yes, he does. I love Asa Tenpao. Love watching this guy fight. John Lineker obviously is a MMA fighter, which is really weird that he's even in this spot. But it goes to show you that John Lineker needs to make some money. One does not want to have him fight in MMA fights because they hate MMA for some reason. And they're like, hey, John, you want to make some money fighting in America, fighting Asa Tenpao, who also lives in America? He said, sure, why not? You know what? John Lineker is going to get smoked in this fight. Unless he can land a nice right hand, the signature John Lineker hands. But I think he's going to get kicked to death by Asa Tenpao, spinning back elbowed in the face. But you know what, man? I got to give credit to John Lineker, man, taking this fight out of his element. Fuck yeah, let's go. And then let's not forget that this man came out of the crowd after he was drinking beer, and Sage Northcutt would not fight Shinya Aoki. And he said, fuck it, I'll fight Shinya up a weight class. So, actually up 2 weight classes. I think it was at welterweight. Yeah. So he fought Shinya Aoki at 185 in his last fight. And this man's a 145er in one. So shout out to Lineker, man. I mean, this dude's a fucking animal. I can't believe he's even taking this fight. But
yeah, I mean,
got to make money
is
somehow in Chatri's weird, evil promotion.
Yeah, that is the definition of a prize fighter. I mean, he's already stuck in the jail, so I mean, he might as well just try to get some cigarettes while he's at it, But hey, we got a few more comments. Hey, nobody moves Crystal in the South Valley but me, bitch. Just tried to do my best, Jesse Pinkman there. And then Dylan, Tom Aspinall is good, but he's no Steve Ursak, quote, Hank the Wank. I think I've
actually heard him say that.
I think I was playing a character. What?
I said I think I've actually heard him say that.
You heard me say that?
He says,
okay, great.
No, I'm just messing around. Needs those baits, huh? What?
Yes, he does.
Master baits?
He needs some bait. Yeah, he's a master of all things baits. He's a good fisherman. But then
the
we
bots.
Got
yes, exactly.
Bots. We got our next. I was gonna say that was a fucking weird comment. We got Ong La Nsong against Shamil Erdogan.
Can you say it like Mitch Chilson?
Mitch Chilson? Is that the announcer or something?
Yeah, he's like Ong La On.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Ong
La Sa.
Yeah, I have no idea who this man he's fighting is. Unsong is pretty washed at this point. It's actually kind of sad watching him like barely win over these guys. But again, I don't know who the fuck this guy is that he's fighting. Who does it say he fought last?
Song. He had a win against Wrong Fan.
Oh, that's also who what's his name fought. Oh, you know what? I think this fucking guy that he's fighting was actually on the last one card in Denver.
Huh. Interesting. Well, let me actually take a look. So that would have been like 2023, right? Yushin
It was last year in
Okami,
May.
Galvayo, 1 year, 7 months ago. 1 year, 4 months ago. I mean, what was it? Wrong Fawn that he fought?
I think the other guy fought him on the one Denver card.
Interesting. But yeah, this is another case that they got similar opponents. But Jesus, dude, look at this. KO, submission, KO, 10-1 guy. This guy's pretty solid from Turkey.
I think, yeah, because I remember Wrong Fan fought on the last card. But anyway, I don't know, dude. I don't know how to feel about Ong Law. I mean, obviously he's on a 3-fight winning streak. Good for him. But the man just looks kind of melted at this point in his career,
right?
As in his physique. Yeah. And I'm not sure exactly how high the promotion is on him anymore. Obviously a big star, being Burmese and, half American or, Burmese American. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Give me Ong Law. But who knows? Maybe this Steve dude, you know how good Steves are. Is that his name even?
Yeah. I know that Steve Garcia is going to do well on Saturday. Yeah, that's
the Steves in MMA, unless their last name is Urseg,
I'm on to what you're saying, Skatesman, but I just don't recall who you're trying to trying
to block it out.
Yes, I am. I actually went to a hypnotist the other day, and he was like waving a shiny watch.
Okay, gotcha.
Forgot the last month or so. Then we got a dream fight. This is the fight that the whole City Life crew wants. After that amazing interview with Liam Harrison, we got Liam Harrison taking on the legendary man who yields to no one, Seksan or Kwanwa.
So scroll down a little bit. Let me see. I can't remember if Seksan was the guy who, I think he lost to a guy. Oh, does it not show their records?
Hey, I'll click his name. In the meantime, who we got in terms of comments? Whoa, goes easy, Skate. Leave Steve alone. Yeah, I know. Leave Steve Carell alone. He's a great actor.
I will not leave Steve Ursig alone.
All right, let's take a look. He lost to Yutaro Asahi by unanimous decision, and then had a split decision with River Das, whoever the fuck that is.
What the hell? And
is on a win streak on one Friday fights forever. Look at this.
Okay.
Holy shit.
Yeah, so Seksan is like a Muay Thai legend.
Yes.
Pretty much. But that fight with, what's his name? The Japanese dude was really unexpected, and it was just really strange to see.
Yeah.
I think Liam Harrison's going to clean this dude up, honestly, though. The thing about Liam, though, is I don't know how many more fights he has left, man. It's kind of interesting. I hope that he's on this card.
He said,
Go ahead.
Hitman Liam Harris. He said that on his interview with Isha that he wanted this to be his retirement fight. I think that's what he said.
Okay.
So I think this is his last fight, according to him.
Well,
at least.
Shout out to Isha. I'll have to check that interview out because that is definitely fascinating. Who was his last
one? He
loss?
lost to Nongo recently. Yeah.
Oh, that's right.
One leg
right. Nongo whooped his ass. So, yeah, I think Liam Harris, well, actually, fuck. He's going to retire. Definitely interesting. Two guys coming off of losses, but regardless, dude, this is going to be a hell of a fight. I'm so excited that I'm cage side to watch this one. I love Muay Thai, man. I just love Muay Thai. But yeah, give me Harrison. I wish that they would line him up with Haggerty, though.
Mm-hmm. It was a pretty good. That was a pretty good win he had against Muang Thai Sainche. I'm pretty sure we mentioned Muang Thai literally a week ago.
Well, you never know because there's lots of different Muay Thai fighters with the same name. So.
Yeah, for sure. But I just remember that Liam Harrison wanted to put this fight together first. So, but it would be nice if somehow he just got to jump up the rankings and got to fight Jonathan because he's just talking mad shit about.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's the fight I want to see.
It's so weird. He just claims that Jonathan's a total piece of shit. And I know that he comes off as like smarmy sometimes, but from what people like fan interactions that I see on YouTube and other things, he just seems like a sort of chill guy who's just having fun and doing fan requests. So
Do you have
I
an official
don't know.
pick
Maybe
for that fight?
I don't, because Tapology is a company full of fucking douchebags, and all of them hate anything that's not MMA. But I'm going the Skatesman route, and I'm gonna pick Liam Harrison. He's quite
Are
the
you guys
guy.
monetized? No, we're
Keep
trying.
watching us.
Hank's trying harder than I am, though. To be fair.
Yeah.
Christian Lee won the welterweight belt. Rolled the windows down, opened up the moonroof, and put his whole career in lightweight and welterweight divisions on cruise control. Yeah, I don't think that's really his fault though, because he's an MMA champion, so like they don't really have anybody for him to fight. I mean, how come Christian Lee hasn't done a Muay Thai fight yet?
We then move on to probably the biggest disaster of this entire card for the co-main event. Mikey Musumeci, Darth Hydration, taking on Bebeto Oliveira. Look at this
short notice.
Dude. Yeah, it went from Darth Mikey versus Cade Ruotolo to Mikey versus this guy from Brazil to maybe this fight not even happening because he failed the hydration test.
Yeah,
and now
I mean, that's hilarious.
Apparently.
And now he's stripped of the belt. But as we know, hydration tests are like fake; they're not even real. So I really don't understand anything that one does, including this grappling thing they're doing. But you know what? Mikey Musumeci sold me after his last grappling match or fight, with his hell of a promo where he actually became Darth Rigatoni. We called everybody out. So it was interesting seeing him and Cade face off. But, I mean, who really cares that Cade and Mikey are going to have a grappling match? Oh, and Hank the Tank has just left. Does anyone care that Mikey Musumeci is going to go up in weight and like face the grappling champion of another weight class? I sure as hell don't. It's pretty obvious that like Cade is the more skilled of the two. I don't know. And people are shitting on this card because, obviously Stamp fell out. And then now this fight fell out. Oh, he's back. So Dylan kind of cares. Yeah,
God
exactly.
Damn. They don't allow me to highlight any comments. What the heck? Okay. I guess I can. Anyway, I think I can. Yeah, this is a shit fight. Who gives a fuck?
It's not
Mikey's
a fight,
reputation is done.
I'm asking a pressing question, though. Did you really care that Mikey was going to go up and wait and grapple Cade?
No, not really.
No, that's what I'm saying.
I don't give that championship a lot of prestige.
Is it one of the more
I like seeing them both fight. I like seeing them both fight. They're fun
they don't
to watch,
fight,
and they're
though.
fun on the mic.
They fucking grapple and roll around on the ground.
That's true, but then Darth Mikey goes fucking unhinged in his promos.
But what
I'm trying to
say is it one of the more interesting things to happen in one championship grappling history? Sure, why not? The problem is that nobody really cares about the grappling aspect of one.
Mm-hmm. No.
So I don't really give a shit if Mikey's got to just grapple some dude real quick, and it's not for a title because he failed hydration test. That's literally every single other Mikey Musumeci grappling match. So what's the difference?
That's true. I got a little spat to settle between me and Dylan. He's saying the website's called Tapology. Of course, they're going to focus on MMA, but grappling's you tap in grappling, Dylan. It's all about who's going to submit the other guy. So, I mean, I get it for like kickboxing and Muay Thai, but if it involves the tapping, you got to have it on Tapology.
I didn't know that they covered kickboxing on BoxRec. For some reason, this stream isn't showing up on my subscription page. Well, fuck YouTube.
Well, there we have it. Then we got our main event for the evening. I think the fight, everyone who doesn't consider Liam Harrison versus Sexton their favorite fight on this card has been waiting for. We got Jonathan, the evil, disgusting varmint devil himself, according to Liam Harrison. Jonathan Haggerty against the one, the only, the kicking machine, Superlek. So,
yeah,
who you got in this one?
This is a hell of a crown jewel of a fight, man. Oh my gosh, dude. I mean, obviously Superlek right now, man, like he's that dude in Muay Thai. You could say it's Rod Tang, but who does Rod Tang really fight? I mean, shit. Superlek had to fight Rod Tang's original opponent because he pulled out of the fight. And not to mention, Superlek whooped up on Rod Tang. It was a close fight. I'll give you that. But we all know Superlek won that fight. He beat the shit out of Takeru. It was pretty gnarly. I think he's had a fight since against a dude. But
Dude.
the real thing here is, you know, Liam Harrison. He had a fight with Rod Tang once, you know, long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, where he got kind of cleaned up by Rod Tang, but he hung in there, you know. And since then, he's just been on a hell of a...
What did I say about copyright, man? What did I say about they're gonna get you? You can't do the tagline for Star Wars, man. You got us. They dinged us. It's over, man. What have you done? Cut. Stream over. Over. Anyway. All right, keep going.
But Liam Harrison's been on a tear since then, and actually, really, I think he's like hitting his stride right now. The thing is that gets me about this fight, right, is just based on their last performances. Liam Harrison had a hell of a fight with Lobo, which he had no business having that hard of a fight with, right?
Yeah.
And Superlek, when he fought a guy that was of lesser caliber, he disposed of him, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah. Waste man.
I have a hard time picking against Superlek. By the way, last year in Denver, I met Superlek, called him out in the crowd, and came over, took a picture with dude, and nobody recognized him. So he felt really cool, you know, that somebody recognized him, and then everyone kind of rushed over him to take pictures. So obviously a super humble dude. I've seen Liam Harrison vaping and drinking in clubs on the lead up to this fight. Again, I'm not going to like use that as a super knock against the guy, but definitely not a great look. The biggest kicker with this fight is that Superlek only traveled to Denver on Sunday. That's right.
Huh. Oh, boy.
So he hasn't even been here a week to acclimatize to the altitude. That's definitely worrying, man. I think they did a training camp up in Chiang Mai, which is, you know, better elevation. I think it's about 5,000 feet, according to my sources. But either way, man, I don't think that that's really going to get you prepared for Denver, as Haggerty's been here, I think, a month. So that definitely has me worried for my boy Superlek. And then again, you know, on the technical aspect, I would say that Haggerty definitely has more speed and maybe even more power with the punches. But you know, Superlek, probably one of the best kickers in all of combat sports at the moment. Leg kicks.
I mean, he earned that nickname for a reason.
Yes. I mean, look what he did to poor old Takeru, man. Put him in a wheelchair for a couple weeks. And beat the hell out of poor old Takeru. And the elbows, I think, are sneaky from both men. I'd pick Superlek in the elbow department. You know, really, though, the speed and the movement of Haggerty could give Superlek some problems. This is just a really intriguing, fascinating matchup. Can't wait for this one to go down, honestly, man.
Kiwi Brew has a very interesting theory. He thinks that my singing got us shadow banned. Every time I open my fucking mouth and I'm talking about the road again and Skatesman being on the road again, we get fucking shut down. But it's privately, not in terms of individual streams. But
I think if our connection was better,
but hey,
that might help too.
Yeah, but who likes YouTube, man? Nobody likes YouTube.
What weight
if they don't like us, that's a good thing.
What weight is this fight taking place at?
His last weigh-in was 135 pounds from Jonathan Haggerty.
So is Superlek going down in weight to fight Haggerty?
Yeah, that's a little weird, isn't it? And I think
he's the flyweight champ. So is this for the bantamweight title?
It's a featherweight championship, so he is moving up.
Okay, that's definitely intriguing, but I think that even, you know what, that's a tough one. I think that definitely leans into Haggerty's favor, obviously defending the. I think that Superlek is the bantamweight Muay Thai champion. Rod Ting is the light or flyweight Muay Thai champion. So it's not like he's moving up too much. Definitely, Haggerty is already lightning fast at that weight class, and I guess that means that Superlek will be a little slower. So yeah, that's the only thing that really gets me is the speed of Haggerty's hands could potentially cause some problems for Superlek. I believe though that it's nothing like. I mean, I think Takeru probably has similar hand speed, just not the power. So I think that the kicks and the knees and the step-in elbows of Superlek will win him the day. What about you? What's your pick for this fight?
Yeah, it's tough that this is Muay Thai. I really think that's not in Haggerty's favor, and there's a lot of X factors that potentially get in the way. I mean, usually there is an advantage for Haggerty in most of his fights, just because they're competing in kickboxing when the other guy's an MMA guy, or Jonathan Haggerty's huge and he's facing Nong O, who's fucking tiny. So it seems like one can be very protective of Haggerty at times. This, I think, is less protective of him, but still, I think there are certain aspects of this fight where Superlek is at an inherent disadvantage to Jonathan Haggerty. But at the same time, Muay Thai, I trust Superlek to have more knees up the middle and more leg kicks that really hurt Haggerty. So I am getting a little bit swayed by you. At first, I had Haggerty. But I will say, dude, I found a guy who did predictions, the one fucking Muay Thai guy, and he said that Superlek had this one in the bag. So, hey, might go with his gut, and I'd probably choose
no,
Superlek
man.
too.
This is definitely like outside of Rod Tang. This is definitely like both men's toughest test. I would say on the biggest stage in their prime,
as it should be. As it should be. It's Denver.
Yeah, no, this is a fucking banger of a fight. One of the biggest fights in Muay Thai in a long time, I would say, since Rod Tang and Superlek.
Thank God this main event didn't get canceled, because literally any other co-main event or feature fight got fucking obliterated.
Yeah, I mean,
card,
the thing is like, I mean, what fight, right? Stamp Fairtex, right? I don't give a shit about Stamp Fairtex beating up on some random chick in Muay Thai. I don't fucking care, dude. I really don't. Stamp is like not have a lot of competition at the moment. That's why they're trying to make her fight in MMA. It's the only way she can really get good fights. So I just don't really care that Stamp's not fighting, me personally.
But I believe she was going to be fighting the Panda who had beaten her before.
Oh, okay. Well, I still don't give a shit.
All right, never mind. We then move on to Hank the Tank and Idaho Skatesman picks, and I did a really good job, like I was fucking Jamie on the Joe Rogan podcast, because I already pulled it up ahead of time. I knew where the direction of the conversation was headed, and I got our picks for UFC Fight Night Burns versus Brady, which I think is actually a pretty solidly booked card, and given my predictions, I feel like it's going to be some good action from start to finish. And an example of that is, we have got already one of the big tough fights between Ramaska and Nathan Fletcher. I personally have Nathan Fletcher by round 2 submission. Hold on, I have my notes. What the fuck? Actually, in the meantime, while I pull up my shit, let's move to Idaho Skatesman's opinion on this fight.
Yeah, I think I remember now. This was supposed to happen last week or 2 weeks ago, right?
Yes, it was, and then who was it? I think it was Fletcher who had some sort of illness that got the fight pulled or something.
What a fucking commie bastard. Yeah, so I was just stealing your picks, if you remember, for the tough fights. So
yes,
I don't know. I kind of just was picking blindly on this one. I don't know, but actually, I think most of Topology's picking the other guy.
They are, but if I'm not mistaken, they had Fletcher, I believe, the majority of Tapology voters last time. So it's
okay, but that makes sense.
Phenomenon
Out of the fight, and then now they're rebooking it. Leprechaun's calling you out, dude. He says that we'll see if I can tie or beat Hank the Tank.
Well, if I am not mistaken, I am first of 2 between myself and Sean Moody, and I believe I fucking dominated him with the last fight night. So we'll see, man. We'll see. I know that.
I mean,
Sean
let's
Moody...
not forget who the real king of the Skate Tank MMA Pick'em group is. 8-5-1 tie. I mean, come on.
That's true. That's true.
Actually, is it 8-4 or 8? I think it's 8-5.
Mm-hmm. But I have Nathan. You got Nathan Fletcher by decision. I have switched up my pick a little bit, and I have him by round 2 submission, if I'm not mistaken. The reason I picked him is because
he had a good fight against Con Ofley, and I know that hasn't aged very well because Con Ofley just got fucking slept by Myron Santos. But at the same time, he was looking fucking dominant his whole road to the UFC. No, not that road.
No, that's a different show.
Not the Asian road to the UFC, the horrible reality TV show, everybody getting drunk, and Dana's favorite part of this show is the Coach's Challenge road to the UFC. I just remember where Mosca got dropped at one point in his fight against a guy, some fucking guy. And they had the fight of the show, I believe. Back and forth war, both guys getting dropped, grappling, all sorts of shenanigans. But then he was just getting dropped by a guy who was like his own height, whereas I think Nathan Fletcher is taller than Zigomantas or Mosca. So he's right in that range to get fucking clipped on the feet. And then I just thought he looked super impressive. But it is sort of a tough fight to predict. I remember in my notes I just said you could flip a coin with this one. It's going to be a scrap either way, but both these fighters have no quit. I think that Fletcher has even less quit because he was just getting utterly dominated for 2 rounds and then found a way to get back to his feet, didn't get subbed, and then took the grappler down, if I'm not mistaken. So actually, people forget, man. People thinking that Nathan Fletcher is going to be a striker here, man. But he was tapping out all of his opponents on the regional scene before he even got to the Ultimate Fighter. So he's actually primarily a grappler. Don't let that Ofley matchup fool you. He has the ability to get knocked down, but I just feel like Ramoska just took a bunch of damage in his last fight. Literally, they showed a section on Tough where there was like a plate of his cheekbone that had been like fucking ripped off, and they had to like reattach it and stitch it together.
Brutal.
And like that's why his fight got pulled. Is that he was contracting fucking diseases. It was literally and couldn't make weight either. It was just
Sounds
awful.
Gross.
So Fletcher, he had his insiders, his people who have their connections to UFC from, I'm assuming, the UK promotions or Cage Warriors, because they got him booked again. And everybody's now switched stances. Everybody's going with Ramoska. But I just think this guy's a submission artist, and he's taller. So I feel like he's going to knock down Ramoska at some point. Ramoska got knocked down 3 times in his last fight. And then once things get down to the ground, I got him by round 2 submission. I just feel like he's solid and consistent overall. Whereas with Ramoska, he's gonna have a war where he's gonna get hurt.
Yeah, and this is another example of 2 guys who didn't win Tough, now just in the UFC.
Dude, I guarantee every single fighter that was on Tough this season is gonna have some short notice at some point. All fucking 20 guys.
So stupid, dude. Probably a lot of Contender Series guys too, randomly.
Yeah, I know. Then we have actually, let's move through some comments real quick. What do our usual suspects have to? Oh, Mikey Misamechi. Idaho don't give a shit. He usually doesn't. Smooth work with your notes, Jamie. Yeah, really. And then fake doctor's note. Yes. Dana wrote it. Yes. There's a reason everybody's here. But we then got what I actually consider to be the lock of the card, my personal lock. There's another guy. I think it's Isaac Dolgarian. He's another great potential lock to have on this card. 100%. But I specifically have Andre Petrosky. Oh, Dylan Shaken. I mean Dylan Budka, of course. How you've let me down, young Padawan. The OGs remember that I picked Dylan Budka against Cesar Almeida, given that he was an all-American high school wrestler. Yeah, wink, wink. And Cesar Almeida was a kickboxer with almost 0 experience in takedown defense. Well, all he did was pressure Almeida against the cage and couldn't get a single leg to save his fucking life. No striking in his back pocket whatsoever, along with that. And he got flattened. His nickname's literally the Mindless Hulk. Tells you everything you need to know about him. There's not a single brain atom of fight IQ in his brain. Now he's facing a wrestler who can actually talk the talk and walk the walk, and Andre Petrosky, who almost always tries to get his opponents down and lock in a submission, Petrolsky style. I think I called him Petrolsky at one. People forget, man. And
people forget, man, that Benson Henderson, he changed the game with the calf kick.
Yeah, and he also had a toothpick in his mouth. Oh, my God. Oh, unbelievable. Did you know he almost choked? Yeah, he almost choked on that thing.
Ivermectin, man. Ivermectin. I'm telling you guys, ivermectin. You take that, you won't have COVID anymore.
Yeah, take the horse tranquilizer, take the ringworm, and also Benson Henderson's black. We got to have him on the show. We got to have him as a host. He's black. I love this guy. But anyway, he always tries to get his opponents down and lock in a submission, and he can stand and bang with fellow wrestlers as well. I think this is sort of a mandatory pick for me. Dylan Buka has hardly any experience in MMA, and he's way too young in one note in his fighting approach to be in the UFC. He's more of a Torres Finney or a Michael Imperato if you've been watching the Contender series recently. There's just no substance or effectiveness to his grappling. He's not going to be looking for a submission, and he's not even good at getting his opponents down to the ground. So utter failure in every sense of the word. Petrosky, as much as we knock him getting KO'd against, what was his name? Josh Kalibau. I'm pretty sure it was. Wait, no, it wasn't Josh Kalibau. Who the fuck was it? Anyway, some guy from fucking us who looked like Josh Kalibau.
People forget, man.
I forget. Yeah, I got to. Joe Rogan is dumb and he has a good memory, and I have a bad memory, but I'm relatively smart in my own personal opinion, so therefore it doesn't mean anything. He beat Wellington Turner and Josh Friend, convincingly, with absolute domination on the ground and against a complete scrub who can't get it down a no takedown defense kickboxer and Cesar Almeida. This should be a bully beatdown. No Bilal and no Mayhem Miller. Andre Petrosky, unanimous decision. I'm sorry, Big Red. I know you're in this chat, but I got to pick against you. I know you're flying all the way out of Washington.
I know that Hank's lagging. I hope that I'm not lagging as much, but who knows? Hotel Wi-Fi. But yeah. So the thing about Petrosky is I always forget this man speaks perfect English, right?
He forgets, man.
Yeah. Oh my God. But he's not super great. But Dylan Budka, I watched him in LFA, and the guy was actually pretty decent at that point. So I guess coming into the UFC, I was like, oh, dude, this guy can wrestle. And I thought he would get it done against Cesar Almeida. Turns out this guy might actually be a can. And I think that Petrosky is better, or at least equal to him in the wrestling. He's got submissions. He's got hands. He's got some power. I think this is going to be, as Tank the Tank said, a lock. I was going to go decision, but I already have a lot of decision picks on this card. So I just went ahead and said, hey, you know what? I think Petrosky gets a finish here. Could be a sub, but I'm picking him KO too.
Sweet. That'll probably work out. I think I did too many Idaho Skatesmans with this one. I had too many decisions, but we'll see if they pay off or not. Let's look through our chat, by the way. We got
I've been kind of putting them all up as we go.
We got OV.
You call them Dylan Chaikin?
Okay. That's true.
Yeah, you're lagging.
They say ketamine therapy is good. The audio is off a bit. Jesus Christ. Am I good now? Hello?
Hi.
Ah, shit. Hello?
Whoa, crap. AJ in the limousine? What? The hell? All right, well, we'll move on. To the Mrs. Stripper lady, Vanessa Demopoulos, fighting. Yeah. Hank's internet is Skate is fine. Hank, you like? Yeah. See, he's gonna try to come back in. We have Mrs. Stripper woman, the lovely Vanessa Demopoulos, versus Jacqueline Amarim. So, shocker, I'm picking Vanessa Demopoulos. Juice Man obviously has Jacqueline. Not a bad pick. Look, if you're going to pick Jacqueline, I don't blame you. The thing is Vanessa's long-time stripping experience has made it to where I think she's got some dirt on some of these judges.
Yep.
Even when she loses the fight. Oh, what?
Agreed. I agree with you.
Oh, okay. So even when she loses the fight, I think that these guys are like, damn, I don't want Vanessa to tell my wife I watched her, got a private dance from her. Maybe did some more with her too. So my point being is, even though Vanessa's not very good, neither is Amarim. And even when Vanessa loses a fight, she wins. Mm-hmm. The judges like her style for some reason.
Evil.
I'm just kind of tentatively picking Vanessa. I do think I don't think picking Amarim is a bad pick. But yeah, give me Vanessa. Give me Vanessa by split decision in true Vanessa Demopoulos fashion.
I respect the pick. I respect
Kiwi
it.
says
You've
that's
done
why
your homework.
stripping is the best base for MMA. Awesome.
Are there any other examples of that? Jeff Molina,
She's
maybe?
probably blew off a couple dudes inside UFC behind the curtain. Yeah, that privacy curtain they bring out at weigh-ins. When that happens, it's actually just Vanessa Demopoulos.
Wrong curtain, Juiceman. Wrong curtain.
That's funny.
But yeah, I respect the pick. I was almost tempted to go the exact same way that you did, but I just got Amarim by round 2 submission. At this point, allow me this time, by the way, for a quick prayer, troopers and grinders. Hold on, let me set this up just so I can get it right. Please, 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 MMA gods, don't let this fight go to a decision. Give Jacqueline Amorim a little more muscle in her biceps and forearms so she can submit this fluke artist floozy known as Vanessa Demopoulos. Pray, my lord, my soul to keep.
So
Amen.
I have a big problem with the way Hank pronounces names because when I was previewing this fight, I knew he was going to say Vanessa Demopoulos or Pulilis. He says Ilia Tapiria. You are watching too much MMA Guru, my friend. You are not British. Don't fucking say names in a British way, please, for the love of God.
Okay, I'll listen to MMA experts a little more.
No, listen to how John Anik or the announcers say her name because that's how she told them to pronounce it.
Well, looks like I got to get a Fight Pass subscription then to listen to John Anik and his good pronunciation. That fucking freak.
And
all
both
right,
of these fighters facing custody battles.
Over their pregnancies. But anyway, I am so tired of this woman. She's a little monster, as her nickname suggests, but it's not because she's a badass women's strawweight tonight, as Uncle Fester always claims, but because she's done lap dances for Gianni the Greek. And that's why she's having these bullshit. Yeah. Pretty good conspiracy theories, right?
Gianni the Greek?
Yeah, she's a fellow Greek, right? They got to know each other somewhere.
Okay,
Probably at a bar somewhere. Yeah, either that or it's that guy you know on Karate Combat. Okay, we got Vanessa Demopoulos.
Robin Black,
she's a sensation. Dude. She's a star. I love everything about this kid.
Now you got to do the real Robin Black impression if you're gonna do it.
If you had Medusa in there against Barbie,
I like when you stand and you do what he does with your hands.
I can't do it right now because I'm holding my fucking. Okay, here we go.
Who's gonna do it?
Vanessa Demopoulos. I had her down on my lap the other day. She had a great lap dance. I was fully aroused, and yeah, she is the greatest. Don't you tell me different. She's in Karate Combats with the Hawk Tua girl. I got the Hawk Tua girl on line 1. She is facing Vanessa Demopoulos.
Dude, and RFK was there too on the last fucking Karate Combat card.
She was there with RFK on the campaign trail.
Robin Black, dude.
Anyway.
Oh, that's fucking amazing.
So that's why she's having these bullshitty splitty city decisions go her way. I don't know, some fucking reason for how she had so much success as of late, despite being so shit as a fighter. I may be saying this again and again until the end of time, but this is Demopoulos' last stand, totally, you guys. She's not worming her way out of this one. Jacqueline Amorim, even though she fumbled the bag against Sam Hughes, who is always a great underdog to pick, by the way. She won her last fight against Bloody Butt Victoria Dudikova. She has recovered well with a knockout and submission against decent enough competition to slaughter Vanessa Demopoulos at the very least. I see Amorim getting this untalented hack down to the ground and beating the crap out of her, locking in an armbar or a leg lock for a relatively easy submission win. This will be an airtight stand-up affair. This is a mid-striker against a consistent grappler. Make it make sense, MMA gods, please. Just don't make me watch Demopoulos jump into Michael Bisping's arms like he's a stripper pole again. Literally begging at this point.
Fuck. Holy shit.
Holy shit, I'm on a roll this time. Literally, the internet can't bring me down this time. Speaking of which, we got some comments.
Hold on. He says, "You guys are still active. She has neck
Yeah.
muscles." John Jones strips for the homeless. Does that count? Yeah. Why not?
Yes. Well, he's always being very careful around the the homeless. He's very kind to the homeless.
Homeless. Got it. Wink, wink.
Dude, like
It has a
Skatesman-
little
Skatesman-
sunshine in him today. Huh. By now he's hopped off the stream. Yeah, when have I ever hopped off the stream besides when Hank was doing Dana White Contender Series picks and I had nothing to contribute to the show after 2 hours?
And that one time he was talking about boxing, and then I was like, "Oh wow, that's really interesting stuff." Skatesman. And he's like, "Okay, fuck you, I'm out."
Yeah,
People
we ended
forget,
the
man.
show at that point. That was really early on, though. I think we're past that, but yeah.
Yes, we have matured, but only slightly. I mean, I got my first chest hairs, so there's that. But
you don't want to see my chest hair, my friend. I mean, just look at this beard.
Anyway, any more comments?
Oh,
okay, we move on. Here we are.
Hold on.
Gabriel
he said the goat's in the building. Robin Kraft, it's time
as
to
John
go.
Jones would say.
Absolutely gold. Love it, Hank. Vanessa, okay. I was fully aroused. Burst out laughing. He pulled a Bill Clinton. Who did?
I did not have sexual relations with that viral sensation. I did not have relations with that Greek. But then we got Gabriel Santos taking on the Yizza, the RZA, the Wu-Tang Clan. I got Gabriel Santos by decision. Gabriel Santos has been done dirty in his UFC career so far. No diddy. Forced to debut against Lerone Murphy. What? And he only lost to him by split, which is crazy for just his debut. Then he does pretty well against David Onama to the point many thought he was winning before that fluke uppercut and the discount Adesanya celebration. Hey, David Onama, you're a fucking tool for that, along with that embarrassing performance against Jonathan Pierce. Hope you get slapped in your next fight. Probably thinks DDP's a racist too because he likes the dog humper. Anyway, Santos has no Izzy, by the way. Anyway, Santos has shown that he can stay in it against good opponents. And meanwhile, Yizza has lost to guys who win consistently and gotten decisions and submissions against schmucks with mostly even records. Looking at his wins on road to UFC, they're nothing spectacular. Too many split decisions against guys of a low caliber, and lots of scrambling and exchanges that half of the time went his way. Yizza ain't no RZA or Jizza. Man's the weakest member of the Wu-Tang Clan. This inconsistency is where Gabriel Santos is going to shine. He'll stuff Yeezy's takedowns, no Kanye. And in the stand-up, he'll sting him at range like the Mosquitino. That's his nickname. Mosquitino. He calls himself. And just be better since Yizza is quick to give up on standing and trading on the feet. Unlike David Onama and his crazy power, Yizza's punches don't have the same sting. And as long as Santos doesn't get chinned, he'll have this one in the bag with 2 out of the 3 rounds. At the very least, further a split or unanimous decision win, as much as Dana wants all that yen for his Chinese venues. Gabriel is continuing in his winning ways. He's continuing in the winning ways of the Santos clan. Myron, Jordan, and now Peter Gabriel. It's fantastic.
Wow, that was
Let me be your sledgehammer.
That was an absolute tirade.
But what do you think about this,
my friend? Well, I largely agree with everything you said. I think that the David Onama comments were pretty harsh, but hey, you know what? This is MMA. These things happen inside of MMA. Was also really interested about the no Kanye line as is Isha. And by the way, good to see you, Isha.
It's Yeezy.
The thing is the only thing I really have to add is I'm not sure about these guys that come in from the road to UFC, man. I don't know if it's really the best way to actually see where the talent is at coming out of Asia. But it's good for the exposure, getting Asian guys in the UFC and getting them fights. I think this is a decent first opponent for him, a guy coming off of 2 losses to kind of test where he's at in the UFC. But the problem is the weight class that they're fighting in is very competitive. I I think it's a featherweight fight. But yeah, I have a hard
By
time
the way,
picking these guys
thank
off
you,
the road to
Dylan.
UFC. So yeah, give me Gabriel Santos. I think decision is the safe pick as
Nice.
well. So I have the same pick.
Yeah. By the way, thank you very much, Dylan Big Red, for the $10 to Skate Tank MMA through Cash App.
My man.
You are a true trooper and grinder, man. Thank you. We totally we never go past 50 minutes, Dylan. We never do. We never stay up all night. So yes, we're gonna keep having the fucking marathon streams just for you, Big Red, aka our usual amount of streaming time that we do. Let's move on to Andre Lima versus Felipe Dos Santos. But seriously, thank you very much, Big Red.
Yeah,
Coming
thanks,
in
bro.
clutch for the Skate Tanks.
Hold on,
I have got
City Life. Hold on. Isha says Road to UFC is a fun show, but it's a good pool of the best they have, which is meh for North American standards for sure. I see.
If
Yeah,
I'm not mistaken, there have been a lot just in the last show for Road to UFC. There, and remember, I told you there were like 3 Road to UFCs in one fucking week. Can you space it out a little bit, guys? Almost every single fight went to a decision except for one. And again, I saw a lot of the patterns that I saw last time, which was them rolling around and pushing up against the cage, no Jones, and then just changing positions and being on top and then being on bottom, And I don't know, man. There's a few guys like who has benefited the most from Road to UFC. I think it was that blonde guy. Who was that blonde? He had a knockout at first, and then immediately afterwards, he was just grapple fucking everybody. Again, no Jones.
Yeah,
some
I don't
guy,
know. But I do agree with Kiwi's comment. He says, just bring in more Asian women. Fuck their men. Well, no Diddy. But yes. The women.
Rinya Nakamura.
Oh, yeah.
Won Road to UFC.
Didn't Tetsuro Taira come in off Road to UFC, or am I just being racist?
God, I'm not. That's what I was sort of debating a little bit. I don't think he did. But I've seen a lot of Road to UFC guys who have been shit the bed on the main roster. So I think Contender Series is more reliable.
Yeah, totally. King's World said, Skate, if you ever get an entire card with hits, props, right, and I cash that usually in the 10,000s, I'll give you $2,000. Do not go off of anything I say in MMA. I tried to bet for like a couple weeks, and I made I put in $100. I made like $250, and I lost it all within the span of 2 weeks. So don't rely on me for your betting advice ever. Sniff knows he's sleeping on the couch now because he put all his money on Tony Ferguson. So
whamp. I think he's
there are
a
only
discount.
2. There's the semifinals. They spaced them out 3 to 4 months. Oh, here goes Isha just shitting all over you.
Spaced them out.
Lima versus Dos Santos, a fight between 2 guys who look like they would smoke a cigarette in the ring post-fight win arena if they're allowed.
Don't you mean Mocha
gay?
Cigarette?
Trying to get my first stripe in a gi. What?
Okay. Well, I think Isha he's made a stunning announcement.
I meant Hank, not Skate. Oh, okay. Well, give me money too, man. I mean, come on.
Yeah, he fucking hates you for some reason, Skatesman. Dude, I am about to fucking dox King's World right now. The dude said in a comment section with me, dude, I could replace Skatesman. I could just be your co-host. You should just get him out of the picture. And I was like, fuck you, Panda. Well,
hey,
how the fuck would you say something like that? I know you make nice advice, good advice every once in a while, and you're kind in moments. I mean, when you got schizophrenia, sometimes you say good things, sometimes you say, it's very in and out. But how dare you say to replace Skatesman? Without that, there's no skate in the tank. Damn it! It would be fucking Panda Hank.
But no, I mean, the thing about hitting all the fights right in a parlay, dude. You gotta go 3 or 4 fights. Anything over that, you're just fucking up. And that's how I lost all my fucking betting money. Because I'm like, I'll do a 7-fight parlay. So yeah, just be safe with your bets. And by the way, the most important thing about this show is you never pick a whole card right, man. It's damn near impossible to pick a whole card right. I think the best I've ever done on this show is like losing 2 out of like 13. So he says he's sorry. Oh, and what's up, Kobe? Good to see you, my friend.
Fruit salad, yummy.
Hey,
yummy.
You know what, man? People have their favorites on this show, and if you like Hank the Tank, that's all on you. Just shows how immature you are.
Finally can afford BJJ. Hoping to compete in white belt competition next spring. Nice, Isha.
I'm glad you're getting back into combat sports in terms of professional level in some capacity. That's cool. Pull DJ and DJ with the BJJ Mighty Mouse style, man. Don't get hurt. Panda Tank does sound like it would blow up the Asian YouTuber. I think Dana White would agree with those sentiments, Kiwi. Oh, Panda Tank, yeah, it's blowing up in China. It's huge in Japan.
Guys, did you see our numbers in India?
Yeah, exactly. They love Skate Tank. I'm pretty sure that's all 1,500 of their subscribers. I love everything about these kids. But yeah, we then have King's Tank.
Hold on. King's World says it's not that I like Tank. He actually puts effort and research into his picks. You don't. Well, that's hilarious because per our competition, I'm actually almost doubled up on wins on UFC events. So yeah, take that for what it's worth. But yes,
I think I went 8.
Does a lot more work
now.
on research. I'll give him that.
We are 8-5 though, and now it's not double. It's 8 fifths.
Well, whatever. Hey, by the way, don't give anyone my Discord. If I was yeah, okay. Well, anyway.
Okay. Nice
next fight.
Felipe Dos Santos taking on Andre Lima. This is sort of a close fight, but I've had an idea who would win this fight since it got announced, and that's Felipe Dos Santos. He took Manel Cap to a very close decision, and that wasn't the Cap that was shaking in his boots and standing on one leg against Muhammad Makayev. He was still vintage motherfucking Starboy, aggressive technical powerhouse Manel Cap back then. So I rate that close decision a lot. And then he had a close fight with Victor Altamirano, which I think he did win with his greater pressure and output. That's going to be the kryptonite of notable weight cheat and victim of a zombie apocalypse, Andre Lima, who was a backpedaling coward throwing toe-tap leg kicks at range against a scrub from Cage Titans, and went to a split with him as well. I don't favor that at all. I don't think anyone with a brain would favor that at all. Against someone who applies way more stand-up pressure than Felipe Dos Santos, Lima is not having a good night at the office, getting backed up and lit up against the cage with quick, impactful combinations from Felipe, and only having his little elbows and his little teeps to show for it. Oh, gee whiz, don't hurt me. And I don't see Lima rocking Dos Santos at all, and instead being outpointed on the feet for an easy 29-28 win for little Oliveira Jr. Gonna cry, Andre? Have some lima beans. That should calm you down. Oh, wait, no, he's Lima, not Lima. Dos Santos is going to show once again why he's underrated at flyweight by winning a banger of a fight, as he tends to do, and then being the second Dos Santos to win a belt for Uncle Fester. Trust! This guy's winning a belt like Dos Santos. Watch!
Yeah, so, I mean, obviously that fight with Altamirano was in Mexico City, and I agree with you. I thought Dos Santos won that fight as well. I think that the Mexico City bias kind of went Altamirano's way. The thing about Lima, which, by the way, I have the same pick as you, is he really just hasn't looked particularly great at anything in any of his wins. And in fact, the Igor Severino fight, I thought that the tide was starting to actually turn Igor's way before the bite happened. Yeah, give me Dos Santos. Definitely has fought better guys. Looks better. I think that he's just got more skills as well. I think Lima's got some pretty decent striking. I think on the ground is where he'll end up, kind of taking over the fight. Plus, I think he gets like at least 5 takedowns a fight. So yeah, give me Dos Santos, get it done. We got to address this Dylan thing because now he just won't shut up about it. Okay, he says, don't give anyone my Discord if it was either of you, some girl, but likely a dude posing as a girl that pops into the City Rush skate tank and my stream umbrella has tried to hit me up multiple times. You idiots probably did it. Glazing over it means you're guilty.
Well, it was probably Matt R. Probably Matt R.
Isha's laughing. Isha... seen the communal guilt glaze just there. Bring out the gavel. Okay, well, this is why I didn't want to bring this up because it has nothing to do with the show. Totally irrelevant, and I don't know why we would. Plus, I think you can just message anybody that's in the same Discord as you are, right?
Yeah, you can block them too.
Yeah, I don't
by the way, I
fire
did a
and rate.
of
He just
myself
puts
as
more
a
effort
judge.
in research. Well, that's fantastic, Kings. Well, I'm glad that you like Hank the Tank. I don't think Mitch Raposo is a scrub, but not a prospect by any means, but hardly a scrub.
He's fine. He's a Michael Chandler type. That's just my opinion.
Lima, 3 round. Paradox is back. That's usually the deal when you. Oh, okay. Oh, that's fucked up. And they're just kind of talking. She is not in the Discord group, but I'm past it. Oh, okay. Well, that was really quick for you to get past it. I don't even know who Dylan is referring to be honest. Yeah, me neither. That's why I don't want to bring it up because it's just like it doesn't have anything to do with the show. But yeah,
it's either his girlfriend or a figment of his imagination.
On the stream, Dylan. We love you, bud. We love you, buddy. But yeah.
Closing thoughts on this fight, Skatesman.
Oh yeah, I have no closing thoughts other than we got the same pick. We're in agreement. I think that Victor Altamirano just does more work and gets this one done.
Sweet. We then have a fucking bloodbath with Isaac Dolgarian taking on.
Also, one thing I'll say, King's World is Hank the Tank like reads off of notes when he makes picks. So like I have like he covers everything. So like, what do you want me to say? Like repeat all the same shit that he just said? Like,
hey, well, to be fair, Idaho Skatesman usually starts. And then I do the description afterwards. He's at it. Do you want us to switch places, Idaho Skatesman?
No, I don't really care. I honestly don't give a shit.
It's nice to be in your shoes for once, Skatesman. It's nice to be the one pulling the strings, okay? Fine, let me have this.
He wants a refund for his donation.
Uh-oh.
There are no donations on this YouTube channel.
Yeah, it's just a Cash App. It's an unrelated app. Has nothing to do with this channel. Anyway, I got Isaac Dolgarian by round 1 KO. This one's pretty simple, isn't it? Brendan Marotte is a member of the New England Cartel who just feed their prospects cans and make them hype trains to get squashed once they enter any major MMA promotion. They're called Cartel for a reason. Brendan got destroyed by Terrence McKinney on short notice, and that's exactly what his role was supposed to be, to get squashed like a bug on a windshield, just like a C-Rod going through the
vicious knee.
And they're doing it again, giving him this fight against Dolgarian, except this time he's going to get taken down with ease and have his head sent through the mat by Isaac for the easy round 1 TKO win, like it's Undertaker with a fucking choke slam on Big Show. I'd like to think this layup is being awarded to Dolgarian as sort of an apology for him getting highway robbed against Christian Rodriguez. But the UFC just had to let the milquetoast weight bully win. He's making them so much money, killing all their prospects in weight divisions. I mean, how can you not give the win to him? 10-8'd, he's new Patty Pimblett. 10-8'd C-Rod in the first round, 10-9'd him in the second. Bullshit till the day I die, West Side till I die. Anyway, this is Dolgarian's belated participation trophy, and he's going to do exactly what the UFC wants him to do. Destroy a can, crush it, nerd, in dominant fashion to get back some hype. They're even having Marotte go down a weight division to make sure he gets crushed, for God's sake. He's not a natural lightweight. I actually feel bad for this kid. Hurts, too, that his nickname's actually The Kid, because that's what Dolgarian's going to treat him like. It's not going to be pretty. Just ask Neil Magny what it's like to have to give the spanking to the kid. It's not pretty.
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I got Dolgarian in the second round just to be safe. The only thing that makes me maybe think a KO may not happen is just obviously, like, I think he won the C-Rod fight. I think it's pretty obvious. Everyone thinks he did. But you can't deny the fact that he did gas out in that fight. You know what I'm saying? He did slow down a lot. And I think that that potentially can make him a little more tentative in this fight. So you may see him have a slower approach. But let's be honest, dude. This is Isaac Dolgarian. The dude's an absolute hammer. Has no chill in him. Shout out to No Chill MMA, by the way. And the thing with Marotte is his name.
Yes.
Is I think he had a fight booked with that absolute can that's from Abu Dhabi that got knocked out super quick on the last Abu Dhabi card. What was his name? Muhammad something. And he pulled out of that fight. So I think what happened is he was a late notice replacement in the first place. Pulled out of that fight, and they said, "Oh, okay, you want to pull out of a fight? Here's your shot, buddy. You get to fight an absolute hammer, a weight class down, and get absolutely dummied by the guy." Like I said, Potential for Isaac Bulgarian to take it a little easier. But yeah, I'm still picking a finish on the way, and I think nonetheless, and I think that this is definitely one of the locks for the card. And hey, you know what? If King's World wins $10,000, he's going to send you 2, Hank. So there you go.
Nice. Well, first of all,
Mohammed, thank you, Kiwi. Thank you, Kiwi.
I did say yeah as well, but I want to say thank you once again, Dylan. You disputed your money claim, and instead you decided on giving us more money, because now we have $17.50 from Big Red. Thank you very much, Big Red. You did not have to do that whatsoever, my guy. But you're making a point and you're letting it stand. So this man is bleeding holes in every part of his body, and money's coming out. So thank you very much, Big Red. Free himself from being banished to the Apex. Yeah, just like Martian Tybura, but he never will. Just like Shatri Jail and Rodtang. But anyway, we then have Big Red. A nice job, Big Red. Hell yeah. We then have Rongzhu taking on Chris Padilla. Let me share the screen really quick. There we go. Look at that handsome boy. I have Rongzhu by round 2 KO. I'm sorry, Chris. I really am. I like you, but I'm going to have to fade you again. This should be a relatively easy win for Rongzhu, despite what Chris Padilla was able to accomplish against James Lontop. If you think Padilla is going to do the same thing to this guy that he did to Lontop, Zhu wrong.
Oh my gosh.
But Rongzhu literally out-grappled his last opponent. Yep, there's the annoying Skatesman part. He grappled in
it's just the skits and bits, you know?
Yeah, I know. We love it here. We love it here. We love Hank the Tank. What a funny comedian this. I met him the other day in Mar-a-Lago. What a kid he is. But he out-grappled and subbed his last opponent. There's not a wrestling disadvantage or threat here for him, like Padilla showed against Lontop. He knows how to get right back up, and when someone gets him down. The reason for this is his record. This kid's only 24 years old, Rongzhu, and has had 30 fights already. Unless he pulled a Song Yadong and changed his identity and age at some point. That is super impressive in such a short amount of time. He's won by finish against way better opponents than Chris Padilla. Undefeated prospects who he's knocked out and subbed. And his road to UFC, as Isha is very interested in, was a dominant one. Isha Helwani knows. He knows his road to the UFC. Only having one of his 3 tournament fights go to a decision. So he is the antithesis of road to the UFC. He's been crushing his competition, and he's still in his early 20s. Chris Padilla, to be fair, has had a long career himself and looked good on the regional scene, especially against James Lontop, who gave Slava Claus a hell of a fight recently. But he's lost to worse competition than Rongzhu's, and if anyone's the wrestler here, it's his opponent. On the feet, there's no competition. Rongzhu can knock Chris Padilla out on a whim, but I'll say round 2 KO, since Chris has proved crafty enough to stay in it against some tough guys, but not for long this time. Eventually, Rongzhu's finding a good combination or some brutal ground and pound, and it's going to be night, just like Mr. Sandman told you. The Chinese prospect's feasting on a taco for the first time. Probably tastes pretty good.
Wow, that's racist as hell. So, yeah, I mean, I can see why you're picking Rongzhu here. And obviously, the guy already had a run in the UFC. So, yeah, being so young and you know, being through the ringer, getting back on the promotion via road to UFC, definitely impressive. Again, I'm just not sure how I feel about these road to UFC guys. I think Padilla has actually beaten. I don't know if you could say either of them has really beaten better competition than the other as far as name value is considered. I just think that it'll be a close match, right? And I think that Padilla can edge it out in the striking. But hell if I know, man. This is definitely going to be a closer one, if you ask me. And I'm not entirely sold on Rongzhu, you know, him being so young and just kind of his past career. But yeah, give me Padilla, and I think this is like one of our first disputes of the whole card.
Yeah, man, Skatesman's fading road to the UFC more than I do.
Yeah.
Yes. Might be racist, Idaho Skatesman. Might be racist. But
not racist, just biased. I think this is Panda talking to himself.
Yes,
in the
he's
comments.
talking to himself.
Okay. Skatesman definitely has weed. Nope. I don't
Just
smoke weed, my friend.
Bullshit.
What?
I'll bring some boo. Okay, the conversation can. This is better than R. Kelly's "Trapped in the Closet" right here. This is
No, nothing will be our. You wait. So you actually know about Trapped in a Closet?
Yes.
Wow, I didn't know white people knew about Trapped in a Closet. That is fantastic. I don't think anything can beat that. And also, I don't know if like that was a serious thing he did or if he was like trying to make it funny. It turned out to be one of the most hilarious things I've ever seen. The only thing that's wrong with R. Kelly's Trapped in the Closet is it's like 36 chapters and it just
Horrible.
gets like progressively more and more ridiculous. So,
yeah.
If you guys haven't seen Trapped in the Closet, I think you can find the whole thing on YouTube. Please go watch that. I mean, leave the stream right now and just go watch it.
No. Don't leave. We need our precious watch hours. My precious.
Okay, AJ wants in on the smoke sesh.
Scoopity toopty poop. Whoopty scoop. Scoopity whoop. Which is gold.
Oh, what's up, Anakin MMA?
Hey.
Good to see you.
Hello, Anakin. But yeah, I know Trapped in the Closet because
Here comes Dylan coming in at me. Why would Trapped in the Closet not be known by white people? This dude really lives in a Courage the Cowardly dog ass neighborhood.
Stupid Skatesman.
Well,
You
no,
made
I
me look
mean,
bad.
he's not wrong. Most every white person I've encountered in my entire life living in Boise, Idaho, has not heard of Trapped in the Closet. So, you know what? I'll give you that one, Dylan.
Yeah, and I'm finally not a casual in the Skatesman's eyes, so I can be happy for that one. But yeah, I know about Trapped in the Closet from looking at John Jones' playlist. That's his top song, you know.
Fantastic.
Hey, another Hank the Tank zinger. We move on to our next fight. We have Trevor Peek taking on Yanal Ashmuz, and I got my boy Trevor Peek, brother. I got him by decision. This is probably the toughest fight on the card to pick, but I'm giving Trevor Peek another shot here against Yanal Ashmuz. He may be a wild puncher at times, a wild and crazy guy, and unreliable in terms of his finishing ability, but he's Jesus Christ. But he's starting to develop his grappling game a little bit and mix in both his striking and wrestling into his fights. Yanal Ashmuz, meanwhile, is touted as another great wrestler-striker hybrid. But we haven't seen any wrestling in his fight so far, despite moments where he should have shot a takedown, like against Chris Duncan when he was fighting with one arm and still didn't even try one takedown. Most claim the wrestling disparity is going to be the difference maker and sway the fight in Ashmuz's favor, but he's shown none so far, and I doubt he shows it this time in a firefight against Trevor Peek, who I think is going to push through his technical offense and crack him with bigger shots that give Peek the edge in 2 out of 3 rounds. Ashmuz did knock out Sam Patterson, but Sam Patterson was welterweight size, the glass chin at lightweight, so it makes sense he got instantly KO'd in that fight. He also gave Chris Duncan a good fight with one arm, but it's Chris Duncan. He gets beat up by every lightweight. The guy's striking defense is awful, so it's a bit of a risk, but I favor Peek just because he's not getting knocked out. He's a Scouser, mate. Don't get knocked out. He's inbred. And if anyone's shooting for a takedown, it's him. So give me Peek by decision. Fuck, this pick made me stressed as I was putting it together. Who you got for this one, Skatesman?
Yeah, I pretty much agree with you. I don't know if – I think Trevor Peek's a guy that kind of feeds off the energy of the crowd. And this being in the Apex kind of makes it tough. On the other hand, Yanal Ashmuz, like, he looked really, really good until his last loss. So I think that's why a lot of people are fading him in this spot. But, you know, it's all about, like you said, Trevor Peek not being as much of a finisher, takes a lot of damage. Yanal is the more patient guy, but I think that's probably what's going to end up losing him the decision. Give me Trevor Peek just by out-voluming Yanal,
right,
if not actually finishing him.
Well, you got him by round 2 KO, though.
Oh, okay, well, I'm probably going to change that to decision.
All right, sounds good.
But Trevor Peek by hammer fist is Anakin.
Yes, sir.
You're wrong. People who are white outside of Idaho know who R. Kelly. Yeah, that's what I said, though. I said inside of where I live, I haven't heard a lot of just people in general, really, that know Trapped in the Closet. Dylan is calling us out, said that we called him a casual. I don't think I called him a casual.
Wait, did I call him a casual?
You might have. And if we called you a casual, it was a total joke. by the way.
I see. Yeah, I know I'm not.
We just call each
know
other
I'm not a casual.
Kiwis says Ashmut's KO3. Interesting.
Not a bad underdog. It's not a bad underdog for this card.
Losing
He's
to
got
Duncan
power.
is not a good look.
That's true.
Peak loses to Campbell and Chepe have aged well. Oh, yeah.
That's true.
His losses to Campbell and Chepe. I agree.
Yeah.
Decision will be influenced. Oh, okay. Steve Garcia's last fight was funny. Bro just went nuts and it worked. Yeah, let's talk about that one.
That's what Steve Garcia does, man. And we'll get to that. People forget, man. Yeah, he's got no technique and yet all the power in the world and sometimes technique. And great takedown defense for no reason. So, oh, boy. And we got Big Red angry again. He's anger from inside out. Now we got our next fight when it is on the main card. Yes, we have Cody Durden taking on Matt Schnell. I am picking Cody Durden by decision. Yes, sir. But go on, Durden. Take down and destroy Matt Schnell. This will be a redemption arc for that fluke KO from Bruno Silva. Redemption arc upon redemption arc. Trust. Now, I know there's still danger here for Durden. It's Matt Schnell's ring name, for God's sake. He is known as Danger. He is the Danger. He has scary submission work off his back. And you can't always count Schnell out, but Cody Durden's wrestling is just better. It's better, as Homelander would say. Matt Schnell's frame is too wiry. He falls down easily, whether it's by getting punched or not. And he's often a victim at men's flyweight. A true victim, you guys. Not if Cody Durden gets Schnell down. Not if Cody Durden gets Schnell down. He's going to beat him up and just out-muscle him for 3 rounds. Somehow this cardio machine can't get a finish to save his life. So it'll be a dominant 30-27, maybe 30-26 decision win. Schnell's got nothing for this A1 wrestler. I'm sorry. No sumo dergy, but some butt whooping courtesy of the Scramble King, Cody Durden. Who you got in this one?
The thing about this one is obviously like you're picking Cody Durden on short notice, right?
Yeah.
But you know, Matt Schnell, for as long as he's in this fight, he is going to make it a fight. Cody Durden kind of seems to teeter off as the fight goes longer. You know, Schnell is a vet, but definitely there's questions about his chin at this point. So yeah, I mean, could Matt Schnell finish Cody Durden? Man, I don't really see it happening, right? There's definitely an off chance that it could happen, but I think that's his only real route to victory here is just some Hail Mary KO. So I think Cody Durden by decision is probably the safest pick. Is this my pick right here? Round 1 KO?
You got round 1 KO.
Yeah. Like I said, I drove all day from Idaho to Denver, and I just kind of made my picks a little while ago. But yeah, thinking about it now, there's definitely a case to be made for a round 1 KO because of just how hot Durden, you know, just shot out of a cannon in the first couple rounds.
Yeah, he's hot. Not bad looking. He's pretty hot.
Yeah, no, he just comes out firing in the first couple rounds. Actually, in the first round. That's kind of why I went with first round knockout. But yeah, I think the safer pick is definitely a decision for Cody Durden because I think that really the only way for him to lose this fight is if he gets reckless enough to where Matt Schnell can land that Hail Mary shot. So, yeah, I'm probably going to change my pick to Durden by decision. But again, it's kind of the thing about this card is as I was going through it, I was like, damn, I have a lot of decisions. I need to pick more knockouts. But yeah, give me Durden either way.
Also, apparently, Panda and King's World got fucking murked in the chat.
Yeah, he was talking about the Israel-Palestine war, not something that I really want to have up in the comment section. So
yeah, that's not great.
He just got timed out.
Okay. It said banned in the comments, though, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know why it says that. I just timed him out. So,
all right, we move on to our next big fight. We got, I believe it is the feature fight of the card. Kyle Nelson taking on Steve Garcia. Speaking of fucking bangers, I'm looking very forward to this fight. The Monster and the Mean Machine. This will be a fun one as long as it lasts. I'm going with Steve Garcia just because I feel he neutralizes most of the ways Kyle Nelson has gotten his wins in his past 3 fights. Kyle Nelson took down Blake Builder for the easy win and then traded with both Fernando Padilla and Bill Aljo to get the edge in those fights. But Steve Garcia is going to stuff the takedowns of Nelson, given that he somehow has excellent takedown defense. as seen against Patchy Mix and Werden Beke. And in the pocket, the Mean Machine's pretty much unstoppable. He could get cracked by Kyle Nelson and still hit him with something worse a few seconds later. He's tough as nails and way more powerful than Nelson, in my opinion, who had an early stoppage against Bill Aljo and was just trading nonstop with Aljo and getting hit himself. Against Garcia, if Nelson tries to trade, he's getting slept, and if he shoots a takedown, Steve's just stuffing it and brutalizing Nelson against the cage. So I see him getting another round 2 KO. Vintage Garcia against a shorter opponent with worse striking, in my opinion.
Kiwi says, who is Bill Aljo? Yeah, for some reason, I think his name is Bill Algio, but Hank the Tank says Bill Aljo.
Well, he's a cousin of Aljamain Sterling.
Oh, got it. Yeah,
totally.
You can see the resemblance, definitely.
Hey,
so
Joe Rogan can't tell the difference.
With this fight, has Steve Garcia ever been past like the second round?
He has. He actually got a bunch of round 2 KOs.
Has he ever like gone the distance, I guess, is my question.
I don't think so. He might have, but he probably lost those. Right.
So the reason I ask is because, I think that Steve Garcia by knockout is definitely the pick to make, right? But I always fade Kyle Nelson, dude, and he's been proving me wrong, man. I cannot pick this guy's fights right. I believe I have Steve Garcia by first round KO as well, because that's just what he's been doing, right? It's been a bulldozer. But yeah, as Anakin says, never count out Nelson. That's what I'm saying, man. Like he just figures out a way to win in spots where I don't think he can do it. So give me Kyle Nelson by decision or Steve Garcia by first round, second round KO. I think that's the safe way to go for this fight. Right. The decision favors Nelson if he can outlast that bull rush that Steve Garcia is going to give him in the first round, all the power shots. But if Nelson can outlast that, man, I think he gets it done. Man.
Yeah, there is a chance for sure. If it goes past the first round, then all bets are off. But I just think Garcia's got way more power, and he's a fucking spaz. So at one point, he's just going to hit him with something big. We then have we somehow have a co-main event for the evening. We got Jessica Andrade taking on Natalia Silva. Yeah, at least it's not the main event. I have got Natalia Silva by decision. Jessica Andrade's striking offense is just too basic for a prospect like Natalia Silva at this point. She just rushes forward, goes back and forth in her stance, back and forth. Silva, meanwhile, tries to stay away from her opponent's entries as much as possible and wings out big kicks and combinations from range, which will be super difficult for a brawler like Andrade to figure out. She's not the brightest of bulbs, as we've seen with her recent case against her manager for embezzlement. She's also pretty dumb for once again going up a weight division to flyweight. Once again for this fight, she gets dominated more often than not at 125 and is now facing someone taller and with a better reach than her again. Even Erin Blanchfield, who's looked awful on the feet as of late, was piecing her up and out-muscling her. So beating her and getting her to the mat when she needs to should be no challenge for Natalia Silva. At some point, Andrade could get slept rushing in, so there is a chance you could pick a knockout here. But Silva's been tentative lately, so I'm thinking a unanimous decision win for Natalia Silva. Looks like Andrade can't afford her lawyer now. What is Skatesman's opinion of this fight?
Yeah, I have the same pick. The only thing is to add is like Andrade also like divorced her wife and also is suing her manager for embezzlement. So, her wife divorced her, got half her money, and then apparently her manager got the other half. So I think that contributes to the booking of Jessica Andrade. Hey, just book me anywhere. Give me any fight. Yeah. I'll take it. I don't care. 125, 135, 115. Let's go. So part of me hopes, I think that she's still digging herself out of that financial hole. So part of me hopes that, she's gotten it right and she can get back on the right track. Because honestly, dude, I have a soft spot for Jessica Andrade.
She's a nice lady.
Her in-cage performances. I'm not like you where I just get attached to fighters for no reason. But it's in the cage, Jessica Andrade. I mean, how many women really just like put other women out cold? Jessica Andrade, at her best, she's a finisher, right?
Yeah.
So could could she potentially get a finish here? I think it's unlikely because of just the technical kickboxing aspect of Natalia Silva's game. She's got good in and out movement with her punches, good kicks from distance, and yeah, I think it's just a tough fight for Andrade to win. And I'm glad you brought up the fact that she's not doing the best at 125. 115 is really where she should be fighting.
Yeah.
So yeah,
she got a win against Marina Rodriguez. Decision. She could get herself a fight in like the top 5 at this point of strawweight, but she's not gonna. Dumbass.
But yeah, give me Natalia Silva by decision. I think she wins it probably even 30-27. There could be a moment or two where Andrade kind of starts running forward and landing a flurry. As you said, she runs in reckless. But yeah, I think Natalia Silva is probably the lock here. But I do think that there is a weird off chance that she could get a knockout, you know? And that's what I'm really hoping for. But wishful thinking doesn't always work in the world of Tapology picks, so.
Dylan Chaikin mentioned, or Big Red said that Kyle Nelson is a betting black hole. Put money in and watch it evaporate no matter which side you take. I agree. He's sort of like the fucking Steelers of MMA, where no matter who you're picking for the game, somehow it's going to not be the result you want. You pick them to win, they lose. When you pick them to lose, they win. But people are angry that you're calling out Steve Erceg once again.
Natalia Silva is a lock. Silvio. Heard that under breath. Steve Erceg, Hank. I got to have Steve meet you at the airport, skate. Well, here's the thing, guys. Here's the thing, you guys.
Here's the fucking thing.
Yeah, there's Hank the Tank's impression of Sean O'Malley. Sean Strickland again.
Yeah, Sean O'Malley.
It's got to happen every stream, right?
Southern accent, yeah.
But here's the thing: is the reason why I give Steve Erceg so much shit is the interview. Oh, and by the way, Kiwi's Australian, so of course he just loves Steve Erceg.
Makes sense. Yeah.
But you know, he put out that interview where he said that MMA boxing is terrible, and then he gets knocked out by Kai Kara-France. So I just thought it was hilarious, and I figured the world should know about this particular instance. So Hank the Tank loves Steve Erceg, mostly just messing with my guy over here.
Well, you know, I hope that Steve Erceg has practiced his boxing defense if you do meet Skatesman, because you might put him out cold, you know? Be real careful there.
Yeah.
Or else you'll, I mean, he's Shannon Ross at this point, man. Shannon Ross.
I'll just show him a picture of Kai Kara-France. I think I'll be all right.
Yes. So then we got our main event of the evening. We have Gilbert Burns. Hey, Lane, locking women's MMA. Doc's going wild. Yes, it is stupid. Although if it's fucking ranked women, I can understand it. But if it's outside the rankings, say your fucking prayers and flip a coin.
Yeah, agreed.
So then we got our main event: Gilbert Burns and Sean Brady. I have Sean Brady.
2 hours later, we finally made it.
Hey, we got those yummy, sweet watch hours. Good. But I got Sean Brady by decision. There's a pretty big age disparity between these two fighters. I'm just going to be real here. 7 years difference between them. And in Gilbert Burns' last couple of fights, I think it's getting pretty clear that he's slowing down in his performances and will have less energy than Sean Brady when they meet in the cage on Saturday. Both guys implement their grappling effectively, but I'm trusting the guy who relies on his wrestling as the foundation of his success rather than a convenient tool over someone who's decent in striking and decent in wrestling. Gilbert Burns didn't really have anything for Jack Della Maddalena on the feet and was even tentative against Jorge Masvidal, out of his prime Jorge Masvidal, which tells me that he sort of lost his killer instinct. Sean Brady, meanwhile, dominated Tai Tuivasa Jr. And eating disorder-ridden Kelvin Gastelum and got the tap to boot. We all know he got finished by Bilal Muhammad, which seemed like a bad look at the time. But now Bilal's the UFC welterweight champion, and Sean looks like he's found a second wind, in my opinion. I think that momentum will give him confidence going into this fight with Burns, and I think he makes it competitive on the feet, then just crushes Burns against the fence and on the ground to take at least 3 out of the 5 rounds, maybe even 49-46 on the judges' scorecards when this thing is said and done. I know, poor Burns, I feel bad for him, but Sean Brady's going to show that the Brady name is a championship lineage and not Tom exclusive. Now, if only his fights looked as good as his tattoos. Anyway, who you got in this one, Skatesman?
I'm picking Sean Brady to win the decision. first of all. But second thing I'll say is, I mean, you really think Burns is like that washed up?
I don't think he's that washed up, but I do think the striking of these prospects is starting to improve. And I think, meanwhile, his striking is getting a little bit worse and slower.
My case for why I think this is a tough pick. If this fight was 3 rounds, I would pick Gilbert Burns to win this fight.
Yeah, I can understand
9 times out of 10. The thing about the JDM fight is I actually thought Burns was holding his own in that fight until the knee. The knee is really what did him in, man. And it was a sneaky knee. I don't think that has anything to do with the lack of killer instinct, the age, the slowing down. Personally, I think he was performing fantastic in the JDM fight. His fight with Hamza, obviously, legendary fight. The Jorge Masvidal fight, I believe they had trained together quite a few times. So I think he kind of knew he wasn't going to be able to strike with Jorge, and he just kind of took the easy route. And as far as Sean Brady goes, man, like, Sean Brady fucking cannot strike, dude. If this was a kickboxing match, even a boxing match, I'm picking Gilbert Burns all day. Obviously, it's MMA. And this guy is the only guy to get knocked out by Bilal Muhammad. Are you fucking serious?
Yeah.
The other thing is the Chiesa fight. He won the fight handedly, but by the 3rd round, Chiesa broke his nose. He has his nose all bleeding all over the place. Michael Chiesa broke your nose? You know, I think both these guys have really bad cardio heading into the later rounds, so that could definitely dictate the way in which this fight goes in the later rounds. I think that Gilbert Burns wins the first 2 rounds, and Sean Brady wins the last 2. I think really it just comes down to that 3rd round. Who's gonna implement the better game plan? And as Paradox says, he thinks that Brady will out cuddle him. And the thing is I think that in that 3rd round, you'll see Gilbert Burns kind of accept the bottom position and just kind of let him out grapple him. Obviously, Sean Brady's a young dude. He's improving, but I fear that we've seen the best of Brady, and obviously we've definitely seen the best of Burns. It's definitely long past. I do think that your point is warranted about Burns losing the killer instinct and just kind of becoming an older fighter, though I don't think that it's exactly in the way that you've referenced it. I think it's more just due to age, than anything else. And I also, one thing I'll say too is he's kind of got one foot out the door already. He's doing lots of podcasts. He's flying all over the place. He's been in a lot of people from American Top Team's corners as of late. So I don't know exactly how much time he's dedicating to just his own training. And also, I think he's kind of fallen in love with his hands in the past few years, right? Just kind of wants to strike more. And this is a guy who was one time like an ADCC champ, like maybe even multiple times. So yeah, I'm gonna pick Brady, but I think that it's gonna be a lot closer than people think, and you could potentially even see because Sean Brady's not gonna sub Gilbert Burns, right? He's not gonna knock him out unless it's like a really sloppy cardio. They're both absolutely, blown out by the 5th round, no diddy. And Sean Brady somehow TKOs him, right? I think that Gilbert Burns is actually the bigger finishing threat here. And I think if you're going to pick Gilbert Burns, you should go with a finish. And if you're going to pick Brady, go safe and pick him by decision. I think that definitely in the first couple rounds, Gilbert will be the more dangerous. And I think that by the time the 4th and 5th roll around, it'll fall off for him. But has Sean Brady ever been 5 rounds?
I don't think he has. I think it was his first 5-rounder.
So a guy who already has cardio issues heading into a fight with a guy who has been 5 rounds, I think this is a tough pick. But I'm still going to lean Brady in a close fight.
Nice. Well, do you think it's? I think the bigger debate is it going to be a fun fight or is it going to be a really boring fight?
I think that it'll be fun enough for the first 2 rounds, and then by the 3rd, 4th, 5th, I think that both guys will potentially just kind of throw it all out the door. I mean, I shit all over welterweight. I shit all over middleweight. But actually, as of late, middleweight's been really fun. and welterweight's kind of starting to fall off just because the division is so stagnated. But at the bottom, towards the bottom of the like top 15, there are definitely a lot of contenders coming up. But yeah, the guys at the top need to get their shit figured out, because Sean Brady and Gilbert Burns, though they are like top 15 welterweights, I think that won't be the case for too long.
I agree. I think Gilbert might probably go down and Sean Brady might go up.
The other problem too is this isn't the Apex, right? If this was in front of a crowd, it could have a potential to be a little more exciting. But yeah, I think that's a definitely a factor in the entertainment level of this particular matchup.
I think it's sort of wise to give Brady an Apex main event myself, because if you watch that Gastelum fight, he was mostly just holding Kelvin Gastelum down for 3 rounds. The fans were booing, and then he got the submission. Nice, okay, he got the finish, but it was really, really people were leaving the building before that happened. So
like Kerr Stevenson fight.
People love Gilbert Burns, but then again, when you think about it, he was mostly just doing his grappling against Jack Dell and Madalena. It wasn't like a complete firefight between the two of them. Like Gilbert was trying. I
actually was super entertained by that fight.
Well, yeah, at the end of the day, it produced a good fight, especially the 3rd round was super fun. But yeah, I can understand making this an Apex main event, but I don't understand keeping us in the Apex. Can you come here a little bit sooner, construction workers? Can you get to do a little bit of early work while Uncle Fester's not looking? Just get started on the process early.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to spread fake news because Dana himself even said that he didn't even hear about that.
Oh.
So, I mean, I don't want to confirm that that's going to happen. I honestly, it makes too much sense for Dana White to stay putting on events at the Apex because he just saves so much money. Not to mention, he keeps talking publicly about how much money he's blowing on the Sphere card. So don't be surprised if we get more Apex shows. As Hank just moans and groans. Poor Hank the Tank. But I agree with you. Ultimately, I agree with you. I'm a little less optimistic on not doing Apex shows.
Yeah, for sure. Speaking of just talking nonstop, we got some Brazilians in the chat who are doing total Brazilians, you guys, who are giving some Portuguese lessons right now. Yeah.
Obrigado, chama.
Yeah, I know. Really,
that's the question that's on everybody's mind. Chama or no chama? I would say chama. Weekly pay-per-views? Kiwi, have you gone mad?
I think. Well, it's not going to matter anyway. It could be a pay-per-view or it could be in the Apex in a fight night. People are going to stream it anyway. And that's just the truth, brother. Eu amo Hank the Tank. Ele é meu canal favorito. Oh, and I gotta translate that. Did he call me his favorite animal or something? Hold on. What the fuck? You calling me, bro? Are you going full Izzy on me? Hold on. Wait. Pull up the comment one more time. All right. It
might be a code. American Union, European Union ammunition for Hank the Tank. Elmo in a canal.
Hank the Tank. The Hank the Tank part is gonna fucking ruin this thing.
He said you're very sassy when Skate is not around.
That is true. I have my moany moments, as Skate the Tank knows about. No joke.
Headlined by Contender Series WMMA most weeks. Chama. All right.
El favorito. Okay, I got it. Here we go. I love Hank the Tank. He's my favorite channel. Nice. Let's go. I thought it was going to be something fucking toxic, but instead it was super duper wholesome. So, hey, when Paradox lets out his Brazilian side, he's actually a sweetheart. He's a cuddly little teddy bear. Or either that or Alex Pereira killed Paradox the Chad and is now taking over his channel. Which is, thank you, Alex Pereira, for being a loyal trooper and grinder in the Skate Take Army. Appreciate it.
Fantastic.
I'm the one who booked the Khalil Roundtree fight. It was just for my precious Alex to make sure that he doesn't fight Magomed. You know how
there you go.
Yeah. But anyway, yeah, we got Idaho Skatesman. I got to let this man go to sleep. He's got fucking 1FC tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm going to watch the one card in the morning. And then 1FC is it's around 5 p.m., so no biggie.
And in the meantime, Hank the Tank's going to... God, Jesus Christ, there were 2 moments last week where I had all-nighters. One was the fucking Rise card, and Skatesman, you fucking called it, dude. You should have told me. You should have yelled louder, Hank the Tank, do not watch the In-A-Way card live. I had to go to sleep early and wake up early.
I
to
mean,
watch that fight.
there's nothing wrong with that. By the way, quickly, just give me your thoughts on that fight, because I heard it was actually a decent fight, but it was very anticlimactic.
So basically, Inoue was doing pretty well in the first couple of rounds, which is surprising because usually Inoue's weakness is the start of the fight, and then he gets into it as time goes on. But he was beating the crap out of Doheny with the body shots and backing him up against the ropes is when he found most of his success, as the monster often does. But then Doheny actually started cracking the monster with a few right hands around the guard and putting up a decent fight. There were a few times where he stumbled Inoue for a second. Not enough for a knockdown, but, tagged him. And then Monster would come back with just body shots. And he's just really good at technical stuff. But there was some point, I think it was round 6, where the Monster really started to get off his punches. He started to get off, no did he? And then he got tired. Like, there was one moment where the Monster threw a punch around and it hit him in, like, the side, but it was more close to the back. And then immediately the round ended, and Doheny was like, ooh, God, I felt that one. And then round 7 started. Monster's going to work, backing him up. And then against the ropes, he hit a big left hand to, like, the right side of his body. I think it was right at in a rib area, or it was somewhere close. Because then immediately, I think he popped his spinal cord out. My dad told me that he knew the feeling because he actually hurt his rib once, and the spinal part of his body actually popped out. Because when you hit a rib in a certain way, the momentum of it can actually hurt your back. So he had a piece of his spinal column, just get pulled out of place, and he started fucking limping. And then he just
slipped a disc?
Yeah, he slipped a disc, and he's like, call off the fight, ref. Call off the fight. I need that guy from Texas, the ring dinger, to get him back into the proper shape halfway into the fight. But unfortunately, the ring dinger wasn't there, and he told the referee to wave it off, and the referee responded in kind. And I know that the Japanese crowds are silent already, but they were fucking deathly silent after that finish. You could hear a dead cricket that had been deep fried, and it was
definitely a bummer of a finish. But yeah, it sounds like he put in the work to get it done. So
yeah, he would have won anyway. So he would have won in a way.
So are you doing any fight companions?
I'm actually considering. Let me think. For Friday, I might wait. No. Cage Warriors is on Saturday. Shit. What's going on Friday? Let me take a look really quick.
One championship.
Oh yeah, that's what I think I want to do. I think I want to do one championship, and then Idaho Skatesman could even be in the chat, like on his phone on occasion, telling me what's going on. I think that would be sort of a cool little spectacle, and I'd be watching along with the Skatesman. I think that'd be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm considering doing like a post-fight show, but are you gonna do the UFC on Saturday?
Yes.
Okay. And apparently, I need to start doing my own live chat because people think this is literally just your channel, which is hilarious.
Yes, you do. And it's getting scary at this point. But I'll do less lives, and Skatesman will do more lives.
But yeah, I mean, like, guys, I have a job. Like, I have a life. I can't just be on streaming all the time. So
yeah. Thankfully, I have no life for the Skatesman. I am the substitution of having no life. So it's a good balance. Yeah,
doing the Lord's work, my friend. But anyway,
might not be long.
Almost 2.5 hour show, man. I think it's time to call it.
All right, you and you got to set me up with this because I have no idea how StreamYard works on the phone. But you have escaped the war zone for now, dude. When Demopulus was on my lap and he was with Gianni the Greek, she was doing us both at the same time. She's a fellow Greek. She plunged our economy into debt. She broke the banks. But hey, she's our new president. We got to support her. Demopulus is great.